Hello, 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 guys. Welcome, 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 everyone. How do you find this new layout? कैसे हो? अरे, all good, all good, all good. Let's go. Okay, guys. Nihal versus Hikaru Nakamura today. The semi-finals of the Speed Chess Championship is going to begin. We have 90 minutes of 5 plus 1, 60 minutes of 3 plus 1, and 30 minutes of 1 plus 1. That's how it's going to be. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hikaru is one of the best speed chess players online. I mean, also over the board, but online, he's an absolute beast. The way he uses his mouse, the amount of practice he has is just unbelievable. Before I change my overlay, there's a small mistake here. Can you figure that out? What is the mistake that we have?
1 hour and 30 minutes.
Let me just see if the games have started. Guys, do let me know in the chat when the game begins, because one second, let me. We have already started. Oh, yes, I am here. I have it ready. Let me see if all is well. Yes, guys, the game has begun, and I have also started my thing. One second, guys, just fixing everything so that. Okay, good job. And we also have mute. Let me get the live board so that we also have that thing here. Yep, there we have the live board as well. Should fit in this. Wow. Okay. So Nihal is actually black right now. So, oh my God, why is his king walking perilously? A3 by Hikaru. Wow. A3, D5. Okay. D4, knight F6, knight F3, bishop F5, C4, E6, queen B3. Now look, the queen has come out on B3 and it tells the bishop that look, if you are going out to play, then the B7 pawn is going to get really weak. Okay. Nihal says, I'll defend it. Knight to C3. And now there's pressure here. So I believe a good move could be C6. But Nihal takes. Okay, fine. Queen takes. Knight b d7. Bishop came out to f4. Bishop d6. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. And now he jumps in here. And guys, a big fork looming on d6. So he goes king e7. And now he says, I don't want to exchange queens. I'm going to attack here. What a move this was, by the way, knight b5. Because if you take the queen over here, a5 was played. But if you take here, is it possible for me to analyze this? Oops. Guys, do you know if I can... timer is stopped. One second. This is not working, no? Cool. So this is not working. I'm so distracted because I cannot make analysis, guys, on this board. So maybe I should go into the other here. Let me just make sure I have that. Give me a second. But then, yeah, that's a little tricky. We'll do it. Wait. Here. Chess. Hikaru. Okay. Now we have this. Guys, just give me a second. I should be able to fix it. Wait. I have an idea. Sorry, just this was an unforeseen thing for me that I couldn't analyze when I'm actually following a player. Oh, it's a draw? Is Nihal repeating the game? Seems like it. Okay. So he went here, and now Hikaru can king d1. If Nihal plays queen c2, he can do that. Okay, the game has drawn. Okay, the game is drawn. Next game has begun. So Nihal Sarin has the white pieces now. The game has started. Once again. So here we have d4, knight f6, knight f3, d5, c4. Okay, c4, dc played by Hikaru. e3, e6, bishop c4, a6, castles. Guys, what's the name of this opening that we have on the board? Okay, Rakshit, maybe you can save me. How can I analyze? Queen's Gambit accepted. Geeta, you are right. Queen's Gambit QGA. What? So if I want to make a move, it doesn't allow me to analyze. Explorer. Oh, oh, nice. Now I can. Ooh, awesome. Cool. B3. CD. Guys, all set. All set. All set. Guys, dosto, I'm all set now. Everything's good. So, knight d4, bishop d7, bishop b2, knight c6, knight d2, bishop d6 played. Nihal gets his knight back. Castles a3, bishop c7, b4, queen e7, queen e2, h6, rook fd1, e5, and this is the position on the board right now. Too much brightness. Really? बोर्ड कलर ब्लू में डाल दो. वी वांट प्रीवियस बोर्ड ब्लैक वर्सेस ग्रे. बोर्ड का कलर पर्पल येलो कर दो. अरे दोस्तों, हर एक जन का टेस्ट थोड़ा अलग है. सो ही गोज e4. Okay. And with e4, what Nihal is essentially saying is that your pawn cannot come further ahead and your bishop is now blocked. Also, he has taken control of the d5 square. So maybe later he can maneuver his knight this way and come here. Bishop b6 by Hikaru. I'm trying to find from where I can put the timer, but for now, this is what we'll figure out. धीरे धीरे दोस्तों, धीरे धीरे. Okay. So now Nihal goes bishop b3. But you know, he plays his bishop back to b3. But it seems like Hikaru has the control of the d4 square. His knight is saying that I can control this square, but your knight cannot come here. If Nihal's knight was on b1, it could have jumped to d5. But for now, it cannot. So Nihal has 3 minutes 10 seconds. Hikaru has 2 minutes 25 seconds. Guys, कितने लोगों को setup पसंद है? How many people like the setup that is there on your screen? It's a little different. Rook a d8 played. And good move by Hikaru. He's taking control. Like. Okay. Okay, there are. Board color should be changed. ऐसे लोगों को लग रहा है. अरे दोस्तों, कभी कभी चेंज में ही तो मजा है. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to few things. Rook a d8, knight c4. He goes bishop e6. Okay, now what Hikaru is telling. Hikaru is saying that, look Nihal, if you go knight e3 where you want to go to come to d5, I will take your bishop. So Nihal is like, okay, fine, Hikaru, I can't go there, but hey, can I take your bishop? He's like, then also I'll take your bishop. So it's a mini pin here. Guys, अभी सब लोग Sachin Ranade says all married guys will agree to that line on change. कहाँ जा रहे हम? Where is this stream going to? Okay, what should white play in this position? It's just a normal position, but I just want to know your thoughts. What should white play? Okay, Queen C2 says Rakshit. Norim says Bishop A2. Kritika Chess says Bishop A2. But Nihal goes H3. 1 second. Is our chat chess moves working for today? All good. Chat chess moves is working. क्या बात है? बढ़िया. All is well with chat chess moves. I have some suggestions here. Rook C1. Knight D6. King E6. Queen C2 and Bishop A2. But Nihal goes H3. This is typical Nihal Sarin. He will make certain moves which you will feel like what is the point, but it's just very calm. Now the bishop enters D4. And what can Nihal do? Can Nihal pick it up with his knight? Knight takes D4. Knight takes D4. Bishop takes D4. E takes D4. And in order to break this pin, maybe I can go knight A5, bishop here, bishop, knight here, queen E4, knight. Oh my god, I can't take here, huh? Can I? Okay, look. What do you play in this position as white? White to play. Now, how many of you are going to fall for this? Let's see. White to move. Rook D2, yeah, Rook D3. Okay, how many of you said Rook D2? I am very happy because I managed to fool all of you for Rook D2 and Rook D3. The right move and the best move is Rook DC1, and the right answer goes to no one in the chat. One person has said Rook C1 by Alok Raj, Kritika, Ashwini, Nikipedia, Aikansh and Sangeet, because I'll tell you why. Because if you play Rook D2, then the move is Rook D4. Take and you will lose your Rook. Okay, makes sense. And if you play Rook D3, the move is Knight E2 check. And you can't take because your Rook is hanging. So that's the reason why it was very, very important to actually play Rook DC1. I managed to fool all of you, and that's a very good thing. Not easy to fool the chat. Okay, in the game after Bishop D4, he took Knight takes, Bishop takes, Pawn takes, Knight A5 happens, Bishop C8, E5. Oh, E5, he didn't take, he went Bishop C8, E5, Knight D5. Right. Oh, look at Nihal's time. He has only 11 seconds left. Hikaru has 26 seconds. He goes Queen F3. But now Hikaru can plonk his knight on C3. No, he takes this pawn. He's happy to munch a pawn here. Knight to C4. Attacking the queen. Okay. Queen F4. Takes. And he had to go Rook D2. And now Nihal is a clear pawn down D3. Hikaru Nakamura coming in. H4 with the idea of G3. But Rook D4. Nihal is in big trouble. He has to save. Oh, he takes here, threatening a mate. What do you do? Maybe G3, but then the bishop may come in. Oh, he takes here. Knight F4. Hits the rook and a mate. And I think Nihal has to resign this game. He resigns. He actually loses on time. Hikaru Nakamura starts with H3. My goodness, what is wrong with Hikaru? He's just playing A3, H3. But he's essentially saying that I'm ready to play all these mainline theories with reversed colors. Knight F6. So that brings the score 1.5 in Hikaru's favor. G4 played. Okay. Now the big question is, can you go D5? Because if you play D5, imagine he will play the move G5. And now what should black do? Yes, Rakshit, you are right. D4 is the move. You hit this knight. Now if you take here, I will take here. And it's a good position. But I think what Nihal first did was he played h6 here, bishop g2 and bishop to b4. Okay, bishop to b4. And by the way, early lead in the match taken by Hikaru Nakamura with 1.5 out of 2. Yes, Nightbot says don't forget to like the video. Please do like the video. Rakshit says Nihal will win today. He will have to play out of his skin in order to beat Hikaru, because Hikaru is just very strong when it comes to online chess. And knight to f3 played. Okay. Now, can we push our pawn to e4? That is an important question. I like it actually. I can push to e4. You don't have the g5 square. You can go to h4 with the idea of f5. But even that, I can just castle. I think here castling is good because Nihal wants to play in the center. Look at his pieces. Beautifully positioned. Rakshit says their online ratings are the same. Yes, possibly. They both are equally strong online, but you know, perhaps, yeah, perhaps they are in equal strength. Let's see. Let's ask the chat. Why don't we have a poll? We should have a poll. Who do you think is stronger in online chess? I'm not even asking that who will win, Nihal Sarin or Hikaru Nakamura. Okay, look at this. He plays knight f3, e4 by Nihal, knight h4 as I had assumed. But now, all of a sudden, he goes d5. Okay. But actually, Nihal had a better move than d5. The move that Nihal had here was d6. Not d5, guys, but d6. Now, I'll tell you why. Because if you go d6 and he takes here, takes here, takes here, this knight is hanging on h4. That's the big part there, right? So, he must play knight h4, but d5 is a little bit weird. And now Hikaru is thinking for a long time. Look at the time difference, 2 minutes almost. Live board is not fixed. That is true. Good spot. Let's have the live board here. All good. Wait, I know what's the problem. Yeah. So all good. Knight h4, d5. He takes. Knight takes. Bishop takes e4. Hikaru wins a pawn. But look at this. This is hanging. What a sharp bit of play by Hikaru. Because if he takes on h4, d5 is hanging. Bishop e6. And if you take here first, instead of this, bishop e6 ke jagah, if you would have taken here, then he takes back b takes. And now if you take here, then your bishop is hanging nonetheless. So that's the reason why he had to play bishop e6. But that means Nihal is a pawn down now. Knight f5. castles, a3, bishop to c5 played. What is the advantage that Nihal has in the position? What is the advantage that Nihal has in this position? His pieces are developed and Hikaru has an extra pawn development, exactly, but his king is in the center and he cannot really castle here, because if he castles, actually he can, but then his king can be a bit weak, so he goes d4, bishop b6. Okay, and Nihal objectively is worse. The match has not started so well for him. e3, very solid, and Nihal playing very quickly now. Rook e8. He's like, if I want to beat Hikaru, at least positionally, I'm not able to do it in this game. I should play quickly, put pressure on him on time. 1 minute 19 seconds, short castles. Now, one of the ideas can be knight e7, getting rid of this strong knight. If you can go knight e7, takes, maybe rook takes, and then later we should try and open this up with c5. This bishop is also not very active, and that can help. Rudra Mehra, yes, some trades here would equalize, but some trades would also help Hikaru be a pawn up. I'm going to use this to look slightly different. Krish Chaitu says that you can take here. Okay, Krish, pawn takes and then put the bishop here. Very good, very interesting. But I'll just go bishop d3. And somehow this strong center clump is very good for white. So he went h5. Wow. Nihal is like, I'm going to weaken up your king side. And this is the thing that happens in blitz. Objectively, white is better. This move h5 may not be the best. Bishop g2 played by Hikaru. Take on g4. Take on g4. Kinshuk Srivastav, I'm not tired today. I'm pretty fine. All good. Okay, what is he thinking? Take. Now, yes, that is exactly a very good idea suggested by Rakshit here, is knight a5. And with knight a5, you are looking at which two squares, which are the two important squares that the knight is looking at from a5. He goes g6. He hits the knight, he makes it. Check. Yes, c4 b3, Kritika chess. King g7 and e4. Oof. Takes, takes. Now d5 is a major threat to win the piece here. What should we do? How does this pan out? This is not going to be easy. Look at this variation. Oh, 19 seconds for Nihal. 17, 16, 15, 14. No, he plays bishop c4, attacking this rook, which is logical. But Hikaru's pawn mass is coming in. Queen h4 by Nihal. g5 played. e4 is defended. Look at these pieces all crying in the corner. Bishop is like, mera koi future nahi hai. I don't have any future. Rook comes in. Nihal has been centralizing his pieces and finally sacrifices. But is this going to be enough? I doubt. He attacks the rook. Here, Bishop f4. Hikaru says, take the rook if you want. I don't care. Bishop g3 and your king is too weak. Queen h5 offering a queen trade, but check. And now the bishop is hanging. Nihal Sarin resigns. Hikaru Nakamura on fire. Wow. Amazing. Because I don't know why I wanted to follow him. Ah, yes, there is a way to follow him. Wait. Yes, I'm all set. So now, Nihal Sarin in big trouble here, guys. He is actually 2.5 down in this match. And Hikaru is playing like an absolute beast. Nihal goes for his favorite opening, which is the Queen's Gambit and this QGA with B3. He needs to find something here because Hikaru is in great form. He's playing A3s and H3s here against Nihal with white pieces. With black, he's being very solid. And you can see how Hikaru just bringing all his pieces out nicely. Wants to castle next move. Maybe Queen E7, Rook C8, Rook D8. Just bring all the pieces in the center. And Nihal has to decide how is he. So castle played. And I think one of the ideas for Nihal now is Knight C4. See, in the Queen's Gambit accepted, the advantage is very small. And here the thing is, this d6 square is a weakness. If I can get knight c4, knight d6, I can get the bishop pair. So here's an example of how things can go terribly downhill. So let's say, for example, I take here. Okay, by the way, he takes, I take, bishop e2 castles, rook c1, knight d4, bishop d4, and now you play rook c8. Just trying to look at this as an example. Knight c4, bishop b8. Okay, and then I suddenly play a4. So now my idea is to play a5. Then I can go knight b6. Then I can go bishop b6. I can pop my bishop out here. So it's a very small edge for white. He's trying to put pressure. Rook c2 played. And now b5. Oh, so he had gone after knight d4, bishop d4, bishop a3, rook c2, b5. Bishop f3 played, hitting the rook. Rook comes on the c file. Nihal takes. And now Hikaru has to decide. Queen takes or bishop takes. Not an easy decision because both moves look okay. He takes with the queen. Maybe not the best move because bishop takes f6, gf6, gets the knight in. And then the knight is here. Imagine, guys, here some tactics will definitely start flowing. Big threat. Take here, check and take this. Oops. Bishop e7 played. Queen d4 attacking here. And now Hikaru playing the move e5. Wow. Bishop comes out to e6. e5, queen b6, bishop e6. Hikaru is defending so well. But Nihal is putting pressure. Can Nihal get his bishop here? Also, his idea could be to go bishop e4, then put his knight on f5. Pranab Singh asks the $1 million question. Will Nihal get adopted tonight or will he come back? I believe he'll come back. Nihal is not going to get adopted, especially because he's very good at these online formats. Online chess is something that is one of his fortes. Look at Nihal's time, 4 minutes 18 seconds. You know, one of the big things that good players do is that when the things go wrong, by the way, f5, you see he didn't let him blockade on the light squares, now threatening e4 to block this bishop down. So one of the things that top players do, or just anyone who is good at their field, is that they don't do the same things and expect different results. They do things differently, and that is what Nihal is doing. He's not doing well, so he's not like thinking and thinking. He's trying to play fast. He's trying to take the battle to his opponent. Queen, bishop b7 here, and he takes the pawn and he defends his own pawn as well. Okay, queen a2. Well, the live board somehow I'm not able to get it. I don't know. Okay, I'll try to fix the live board in a bit when there's a break. But for now, after this, rook b8 played, bishop f3, and he's gone queen c7, rook d1. Here we have. Rakshit, can you send me the link on WhatsApp? King g7. So he goes king g7, h3, h6. Okay, no clue. Does bishop d5 work, Gopi Krishnan? Well, if bishop d5, that is a very good idea, because then you are exchanging when your opponent has the bishop pair. And guys, this is an important thing. Remember, when your opponent has the bishop pair, you want to exchange one of the bishops. So I like it. I like this idea a lot, and it seems like a very good thing to do. E4 played here on the board. I'll try to fix the live board, guys. Give me some time. F4 played, and now knight f5. And what will happen, guys, after knight f5 is that he will take, pawn takes, and then the light squares will be weak. Not to forget that white is already a pawn up. So he goes f4. Okay, so what happened was f4, knight h5. He went king g6, bishop g4, queen b6. Hikaru is like, let's trade because your knight is trapped here. And g3. Okay, but the knight is trapped, but it cannot be won. But can he go king g5 now? Nihal has some chances. Takes, plays f3 now. Rook d3. Let's go for this pawn. Can Nihal do it? Yes, he finds it. Rook d3. 16 seconds. 10 seconds for Hikaru. He's going to lose another pawn. He goes here after this pawn. He takes on f3, takes on a2. Rook c3, trying to enter here. Is this going to be some kind of a very attack on the king? Rook c7, important move. No, he plays king g2, now f6. Oh, nice move found by Hikaru Nakamura. But this is not an easy position for black by any means. His king is weak. His knight is well positioned. White can press. Although the engines think it is equal. But how should we press? Knight g7 wants to come here. Hikaru takes it. We are in the rook endgame now. Rook takes b3. f4, but this is a draw now. h5, excellent move by Hikaru. And once again, Nihal had some chances, but Hikaru's defense so good. Oh my god, no, he's going to lose. Yeah. Draw. Draw. The score is now knight c3. Knight f3, okay. Look at all knights coming out. Okay. Okay, all good. Now I think it should work. Wait, I have some ideas. Guys, I have most likely sorted it. Live board sorted. Kya baat hai? Is it sorted? Yes, sorted. All good. Wow, wow, wow. Bolo wow, 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 wow. Okay, so he goes knight c3, knight f6, knight f3, d5, d4, bishop f5, e3, e6, bishop d3. Nihal says, you exchange, I won't exchange. If you will exchange, it will open up my rook on the h file. Hikaru says, okay, fine, Nihal, I will exchange. Hg6, queen to d3. Now threatening a very sneaky check here and winning the pawn on b7. So he goes knight d7, e4 played, bishop b4. Ooh, nice move, because now there is a pin and you want to win this pawn on e4. So if you play e5 in such a position, then I'll jump to e4 and black is the one who's better because he's going to later on hit the center with c5. So what he does is he goes ed, castles, castles, knight to e2, and now Nihal goes rook e8, bishop g5, c6, b3, queen b6, c4, and now we have this on the board, the position, and Nihal plays his knight to e4. Okay, get it. The main thing this position resembles is an exchange French. Now, how does exchange French come? I'll show you. Just remember this structure. There are 4 pawns here, 3 pawns here, 4 pawns here, 3 pawns here. If you go back to the opening, e4, e6, d4, d5, ed, ed, what happens? 4 pawns here, 3 pawns here. Correct? It's very equalish. But in that position, if we see what has happened here, is that now black is the one who has a knight well placed. His queen is here, his bishop. Black has more activity. And black has also stopped white from coming to e5 because the knight is looking here. He cannot take cd5 because the queen is hanging. Firefly says new template is really good, Sagar. Arey, thank you, Firefly. Queen c2 played by Hikaru. Bishop d6, bishop f4. Okay. Knight to f6. Nice. Okay, I have one question. If he takes, I take, and if he plays his knight to e5 to defend the pawn here, all is well, all is well. Then after take, what is the move that you will play here as black to destabilize the position? Let's go, guys. In the chat, let me see how many of you are trying to guess the moves black to play. Yes, fantastic job done in the chat by so many of you. You are correct. The move here is c5. Kritika Chess, Deepak Kanan, Kush, Adi, Alok, Tushar, Rudra, Harshit, Harsh Kumar, and DV Ridhan. Excellent job. So here c5 would sort of destabilize the knight on e5. But did that happen? Let's go and check. He played ndf6. No, h3 was played. He did not take. And Nihal brought his rook in the center. Rook a c1. Bishop a3. Rook b1. Nihal badly needs a win now. He hasn't won a single game. He has 2 draws, 2 losses. Rook b1, knight d6, knight e5, knight f5. What is he doing, by the way? Why is he putting his knight here? Does he want to attack this pawn? And by the way, guys, there are some tactical possibilities that need to be seen. Firstly, you want to trap this bishop with the move c5. Okay, you want to play that, but if you play directly c5, then he will go knight d7, take here, take here. Okay, this is one possibility, but there is also the knight here hanging with rook e2, and white is busted. But if you start here with the move g4, which is a very powerful move, then suddenly black is in trouble. If you go knight h4, I go bishop g3, attacking your knight. Your knight has no good squares to go to. This knight defends f3, and already it's kind of trapped on the side of the board. Knight f5, but Hikaru does not find the move g4, which was very strong. He goes rook f d1, but this allows Nihal to play the move bishop d6. Excellent. And now all sorts of threats. Let's say if you go c5, here trying to attack, not queen b2 but c5, then I have bishop takes, and knight d7. The bishop is attacked. When the bishop moves back, e2 is hanging, so you cannot do that. He played the move queen b2. This is really a big advantage here for Nihal. His position is very good. His rooks are well placed. His queen is surveillancing the position from afar. Knight is well placed. He should convert this. Okay, so he goes queen b2, dc, bc, bishop e5, de, knight, rook d1, queen takes c4. What? Whoa, what is he doing? He's like, if you take here, I will take here. Wow. Okay, let's think about it. Take. Let's analyze. Okay, he takes it. Now rook e2. Yes, we have to take. Rook d8 check. King h7. Is there an intermediate ef6? Not really. fg7, sorry. Because look at this. If I take here, attacking your queen, you come in with a check, I come in here. And now a very important move. This. But I was thinking that there is check, king h2 and queen takes f4. But then I have g3, queen attacked, threatening to queen and also to mate you. Big problems. ef6 is such a good move by Hikaru with 39 seconds, making Nihal think here. The game is sharp, and you know what Nihal has to do? Nihal must play take here, sorry, check here. He must take back with the knight, and he must play this position with queen f6 in, and this looks quite scary. Let's see if this game develops that way. ef6, rook e2 happens, rook d8, king h7, fg7. Oh my god. Like the oracle, we have managed to guess all the moves. Rook e6, but now Nihal in trouble. Queen h4 check. No, but there is knight h5. No, he goes queen g5. Why was queen h4 a better move? Knight h5. Oh, I'll show you that variation is so pretty. Knight f5. We'll come to it in a bit. That's a beautiful variation. King h2. Now just king g7. Very important. 11 seconds for Nihal. Can he find? He goes queen e4. Somehow both kings look slightly weak, but the black king more than the white king. 16 seconds for Hikaru Nakamura. It's 5 minutes plus 1 second increment per move. He goes rook d7, attacking here, rook e7. Nihal under control. Will Nihal repeat? I don't think so. Nihal has a good position. He can play. No, he goes queen e6. f6 was nice idea because if queen f6, f4 was hanging. Rook a8 played. Now he plays f6. a6 played. Rook a7. Can Nihal now go and snatch this? No. He plays b5. Very rare occasion that Nihal is actually blundering something. He's definitely been destabilized by Hikaru. Scoring 2 wins, queens are traded, and now this endgame doesn't look that pretty. Although black does look for choice in this rook endgame, he's a pawn up. Let's see. The king is cut off. That's the main issue. Rook here, c5, h5, take. Again the king entering. Hikaru doing it really well. No, this is over. This is a draw, but okay, let's see how Nihal plays this. King c8, f5. When it comes to defense, he's so good. Very good. Well defended. tremendous play by Hikaru, holding this to a draw. And there was this one variation which I really wanted to show you guys. I think they'll have a 2-minute break here. And that was at this point when we were looking at it. And I said Queen h4 is a good move, threatening a check, because now the only move is Knight h5. And what is the move that Hikaru missed here? It's white to play. Can you guys find it? Not easy, even missed by Hikaru. Careful, careful. Think and see. Think, guys, think. All those who are saying g4, notice your bishop on f4 is hanging. So take a deep breath and calmly answer this one. Don't rush. Don't rush. Just go calm. Let's see what our chat chess moves say. Our chat chess move says that the chat wants to play g4, but the right move, and found by many of you now, is rook h8 check. Rook h8 check. King takes h8. Only move, because you could go king g7. Then I still have bishop e5. So rook h8, king h8, bishop e5 check. And you can see the queen is hanging. And so white wins the queen. If rook h8, king g7, still there is bishop e5 or bishop h6, both very strong, and you will still lose material. So rook h8 found by Motivation, Sangeet, PL Kanti, Chess with Akashdeep, Bhakti, she's a 10, 56, Nishant, Yogesh, and Rishikesh. Well done, guys. The score is 3.5, 1.5 in Hikaru's favor. Still very early days, says Tushar, but looks promising as we move. Well, I'm not sure. I think this is looking quite dangerous. Nihal is not managed to win a single game. Hikaru defending like a monster every single time. And that's not good news. It's 45 minutes up in 5+1. We have another 45 minutes. Then 60 minutes of 3+1. And then 30 minutes of 1+1. Also, guys, you can check out in the description. We have Chesspa in Chess Adventure Park. This very nice book that has been made by ChessBase India, the first ever book, and also ChessBase 17 and Mega Database. I have made a very nice video on it. A lot of people liked it. Those who seriously work on chess, they mentioned that they have enjoyed looking at that video. So I will seriously ask you to check it. It's a nice one and can help you to work through it. Some very good features for all the serious players out there. ChessBase 17 and Mega Database. Link is in the description. This stream is sponsored by ChessBase 17 and Mega Database 2023. That's why I've put that here. Anyway, Priyanshu Sharma says Hikaru is clearly favorite here, but Nihal will fight back. Believe in Nihal's play in such formats. Yeah. मोहम्मद अमन से मान से सागर भाई आपके कमेंट्री के बिना मजा नहीं आता. अरे थैंक यू. Mukund says why no player can. Mukund, we don't have access to them for this event, so do not have them. But you know how earlier our format was like, I used to be sitting down there. Next to me was the live board and above was the players' photos. Now what we did was we put players' photos on the left And this was actually inspired by one of the live some yesterday I was watching some live stream, and there was this channel. I think they were broadcasting the match of Wesley So, and I followed it, and I was very much, I liked the layout, and then we decided to follow it. Okay. And I think this is, yeah. So if you are looking for ChessBase and Mega Database, this is the one. If you are looking for Chesspine Chess Adventure Park, this is the book. Chesspa explained in depth. That is a character we have created to teach chess to the kids, to imbibe love in them. And little kids can really enjoy Chesspa in Chess Adventure Park, and they can enjoy reading it. By the way, a big news here, Arjun Erigaisi gets sponsorship of 1.5 million US dollars for 5 years. That's $300,000 per year. That is 2.4 crores per year. That is quite a good amount. And he has signed up with Quantbox. That's a company. So big times for Indian chess. Earlier we saw how Vishy Anand had signed a deal with NIIT, and that was very cool. Then we had Nihal Sarin, who still works with Akshay Kalpa. And now I believe this is a big one that has happened for Indian chess. By the way, Nihal Sarin has been supported by Akshay Kalpa for quite some time. And it is really nice to see how they support. But now it's time to get back to chess, because the game has begun. D4, knight f6, knight f3, d5, c4. Bishop takes a6, c5. The same opening has been played. Nihal persisting with this. Knight c4. Last time actually Hikaru had put his bishop on d6. This time it's on e7. Rakshit says, Sagar just dumbed out by mentioning the sponsorship amount. Won't coaches or seconds try to charge Arjun more because they know the sponsorship amount? Well, I think it's like saying that if someone knows the profits made by Ambani or some other companies, then their suppliers would charge them more. So I think at some point you have to be open to it, and Arjun and his team would know the right value which is there. That is why they have experts in their team who will know that okay, the right value for this training is so and so, and they would negotiate and so on. Bishop f3, putting pressure here. Knight d4, can we take and threaten mate in one? I think we can, but oh, he takes with the bishop. Bishop c6, but now can we not play knight e5 trying to win this? Wouldn't that be something? What is his plan? Knight e5. I guess he wants to play bishop b5, rook e1, bishop b4. Goes bishop c6, rook c1 first. Shubham says, where is the copper jug? I have it. Okay, rook c8. Nihal's openings are quite dull in that sense, the way he chooses these openings, but his real magic starts to happen in the middle games. Like the openings are more like, you know, always symmetrical structure, 2 pawns here, this way. And I do feel, this is just my personal opinion, that that does impact Nihal's, I wouldn't say results as such, but just the fact that he plays sort of similar openings. But in a match, you usually do that. It's a match strategy for Nihal. Future of ChessBase is Rakshit. More volumes. Yes, we want to try. Any ideas that you guys have for more volumes? Thinking like ChessBase takes you to know all the world champions. Something like that could be an idea. Queen d2. Dheeraj Sahare says, how can we be better at chess without coach? Dheeraj, Chess Ranga, what we are working on, academy.chessbase.in. If you go to academy.chessbase.in, you can actually work through it. We are building it every day and it will be something very useful for free for people to use. By the way, Queen d2, he plays b5, but now Nihal can jump with his knight here and then put pressure, because the reason is that now the bishop can no longer come to b5. He's already put his pawn. But do not put your knight on a5. In no way should you do that, because if you play your knight to a5, you will lose the game. I want to see in the chat if you guys are alert and awake. Black to play. What would black do here? Live board update नहीं हुआ है. Okay, one second. Now it is updated या नहीं? Yep, all good. Guys, I'm going to put knight a5. The reason why this move is bad, and actually we have close to 58 people, 50 people have given the right answer, which is bishop b4. Fantastic job attacking the queen and the knight. The bishop is defended by the knight. So good move, good suggestions by Ishan, Lahiru, Nikipedia, Sumanish, Kritika, Sarvanan, Gamer, Jagdish, and Nishant. Okay, going back. b5, knight e5 played. Nihal is like, I'll go this side. Now bishop b7 played and he goes knight d3. Oh man, Nihal Sarin, क्या ही खेलते हो तुम chess. You know why I say this? Why I say this? I'll tell you why. Okay, let's go back a few moves. This is the position. Everyone is शांति से बैठे हैं, कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है. Knight is like, yes, I'm looking at this square, but oh, there is bishop b4. I'm looking at this square, but the knight is there. Black goes b5. Suddenly the knight is like, oh, he's kicking me. But the c5 square is now weak. What will I do? Boom, boom, boom. And that's what Nihal does. Instantly knight d3, looking at the c5 square. You know, Nihal has this radar on which he's looking at all these weakened squares and he's so quick to latch onto it. Mohammad Aman says, chess ranga kya hai, sir? Mohammad Aman, in the next break, I will show you a few things that I worked on it. And I want your feedback. I want you guys to help me build it. Because I want to build it, but I need your support. So I'm going to take your suggestions there. So with this c5 weakness, तो क्या होगा कि once the knight comes here, the knight will pressure the bishop, it will pressure the pawn, and then the queen will look at this square, trying to come in, and then the pawns here a6, b5 are like, अरे बाप रे, इतना pressure हम पे, like why so much of pressure? Now he goes h6, and now you can see Nihal will not jump into it, because if you jump into c5 just directly here, it doesn't help. Oh, he goes h3. Arey bhai. Look, knight c5, then the bishop may go back. And then you cannot really win this pawn for now, the time being, because b4 and the knight is, it is possible to do this way. But Nihal goes h3. And another typical, we are learning a lot about Nihal, how he thinks, how he plays. But a good move here was queen b2 first, because that stops bishop a3 as well. So h3 takes rook c8, queen c8, and now b4. Whoa, is the bishop trapped? Guys, is the bishop trapped? क्या ये bishop फंस गया है? But how do you attack it? Oh, Hikaru comes in. Hikaru is like, what trapped? My bishop is attacking your pawn. मैं आ रहा हूं पूरा अटैक करने. But one second. Can we not go bishop c5? Oh, bishop c5, he'll go rook d8 and he'll put pressure here. I guess that's his plan. So if I go bishop c5 here, trying to attack here, is this a possibility? I think this is a very tempting move. But the problem is, a better move is rook b1. Defending here. Nihal has only 47 seconds. Hikaru has 43. Live board is not updated. But now it is updated, guys. Rook b1. Ooh, Nihal Sarin. What a beautiful move. He goes here. And he's like, Bishop, tu fas gaya. Bishop says, I'm coming out. I'm going here. But Nihal says, you can't go out because this is blocked. This path is blocked. Queen comes in for a trade. बहुत ही मजा आ रहा है. This bishop is almost trapped here. But it can... Let's bring the king. Let's bring the king out here. King f1, king e1. Nihal Sarin has 18 seconds. Should he take it? No, he goes knight c5. Hikaru, if he defends this, unbelievable. Bishop c6. Because his bishop is almost trapped. What does Nihal do? Can he win a pawn? Can Nihal Sarin grab the pawn on a6? No, he doesn't take first. He goes king f1. Because if you had taken knight a6, it was possible to take here. But then rook a8 and the rook would have entered from here. So that's the reason why he goes king f1, knight b6, bishop f3. Still the bishop is trapped here, but the knight is coming to defend it. He plays knight c4, king e2, e5, bishop c3, a5, bishop c6, rook c6, a4. What a move! क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे? पूरा salad बना दिया. Knight a4, ab4. Whoa! And the bishop is going to come out. Man, we had trapped it. By the way, rook a6 here, and Hikaru might have had chances to trap that knight, but he misses it. And now, draw incoming. Yeah, this is a draw. Hikaru is not a player who will lose on time and stuff. Whoa, is Nihal putting some pressure? Is Nihal coming in? Oh my goodness. He's coming in. He's putting pressure on Hikaru. Hikaru playing fast, but again, some realistic chances. Rook d5. Whoa, e5. Oh my god, Nihal Sarin. Can he? Rook b7 was... Oh, he blunders a rook. Oh my god. Unbelievable. Insane finish. Insane. Here. Event here. The position is still drawn after king g6. But he goes rook e1 and takes here. Nihal Sarin from a drawn position comes out and beats Hikaru. And the score is now 2.5. 2.5, 3.5. Has the match paused? Or am I just... Yeah, the match starts. I think everyone needed a breather there. Or maybe just... And look at the change after this win. No more A3, H3 business by Hikaru. He's saying that now I'm going for the mainline stuff and I don't want to play these H3, A3 business. Goes D4, knight F6, C4, E6, knight F3, D5, E3, B6, knight C3, bishop B7, CD, ED, check. I'm going to play C6, bishop D3, knight D7, castles, bishop D6, ooh, E4, takes, knight takes मारो, bishop takes and then castle करो, या फिर bishop E7, knight F6 and then castle. Okay, that's also fine. Let's see what he chooses. You know, if you play bishop E7, my main worry is that, yeah, he took and maybe now castle. Yeah, he castles. Shubham Gupta and Nucleophile says bishop C7. But why? Queen to C7 played. Rook C1. H6. And now maybe he gets his rook here. But this, what is black's problem piece in such positions? Can anyone tell me? What is black's problem piece? Yes, Kirthika Chess, Alok Raj, Suyash More, Sarvanan Arun Kumar, the bishop on B7, Rakshit Singh, Shubham Gupta. This, if you can play C5 and it happens like this. Oh, he takes here. By the way, tactics. This is attacked. You can't take here. Your queen is hanging. But you can go knight C5, right? Knight C5 is possible. So what I was saying is that if you go this way, instead of DC, here he took no on C6. Instead of that, if you go rook F E1, defending here, then somewhere I'll try to attack you, rook C2, and hopefully I can get C5. This is my dream, to get and activate the bishop. But before he could do that, Hikaru took and played D5, and he's telling Nihal that I am a pawn up now. But the thing is that I can go knight to C5. Now you can either take here or you can play B4. But I think B4 is just a blunder, because B4 there is bishop A4 and then everything seems safe. So you take here. Now if I take here, there will be really B4, which will lose. So I can think of playing A5. And here's a typical nice question that I like to ask to keep the bishop pawn alive, B4 move alive. But black will go for something which is a very nice clamping move. Black to play, what would you do here in such positions? Yes, the move is A4. Fantastic job here. Find space. A lot of you have found it. Fin Spaces, Alok Raj, Chess Codes, Hriday Gandhi, Shubham Gupta, Gamer Devil, Rishikesh Parab, Avnish Agarwal, Kirthika Chess, and Jaya Raju. Excellent. Thank you. A4 was the correct move. Now, going back. So bishop c6, but Nihal does something quite passive, I think. He goes knight b8. But on the other hand, it does seem very logical. Because if you take here now, I want to take with the knight. Look at Nihal's confidence there. It definitely needs confidence to be able to take this like this and go here. Because he sees that if you attack me like this with the queen, I can defend with the rook. That's all good. But if you go knight d4, trying to attack me this way, then I will chop, I will go here, and then a very important move that Nihal has seen, and for this you must always keep your eyes open for loose pieces dropping off. What's the move? Which are the loose pieces? Zaptarius Ocean, you just have to write in the chat. Wow, guys, you're so good. You're so good. Queen f4. Yes, Siddharth Ranadev, I'll check the mail that you have sent. This, and then you, even if you take here, I will go and chop this, and I'm winning. So these are few of the tricks that Nihal has seen in the position. Knight b8 takes, knight takes, and Hikaru definitely doesn't fall for this. He goes queen a4, putting pressure. Nihal says rook c8. Now where's the pressure? Where is your more pressure? He asks Hikaru. How do you put more pressure? And Hikaru says, I'll put more pressure by playing b4. Okay. But I don't like this. I don't like this move. Because b4 से queen को थोड़ा side में, यहाँ पे it has become a little passive, the queen. Right? Who do you think is stronger in online chess? Nihal Sarin has 48% and Hikaru has 52%. That's pretty good. I thought there would be more votes for Nihal. There are so many Nihal fans, but very objective vote poll. Harsh Kumar says bishop b4. Harsh, oh, that's an interesting idea, Harsh. But Harsh, then rook c6 is the problem, right? Bishop b4 here. And I take rook c6, queen c6, queen d4. But this position is quite playable. Take, bishop g3, a pawn is weak. I'll go rook e2, and in fact, this might well be better for black. So remember, when you have two pieces, you want more pawns on the board. You don't want to go into an endgame. You want more weaknesses and stuff. When you have the rooks, you want more endgame, more passed pawns, and so on. So b4, and he goes rook e4. Okay, guys, this is getting intense. Why this is getting intense? One threat is to chop this pawn off. Knight takes, and then I take this bishop. The other threat is to take this guy, and you can't push b5. Your queen is hanging. a3 played by Hikaru. Boom, takes, knight f3, and now ruko. Will Nihal? Oh, Nihal doesn't spot this move. Guys, there was a great move. There was a crazy move here. Can you find it? Black to play. There was a crazy move in this position. Nihal goes rook g4. But there was an amazing move. Pujan Jani says, just bought your ChessBase India chess set. Amazing quality. Thank you, Pujan. That is very nice to know. Yes, exactly. Look at this move, knight d4. That was the move that we were trying, that I wanted you guys to find. Knight f3, knight d4. And the point is, if you take the queen, there's a mate. It's nothing. It's an unbelievable move. Knight d4. And if you take this, I still give a check and take your rook. And somehow it's over. Like, it's not over. Like, this is the one. Black is better. But Nihal missed it. But who did not miss it? The chat was very sharp. Kirtika, Gamer Devil, Safal, Sauraditya, Alok, Tushar, Rishikesh, Manas, Aditi, and Sanket. But going back to the game, where do we stand? After rook g4, rook c3, he still had knight d4. But Nihal missing it again. He goes queen b7. Now rook c1. Now Nihal under pressure because this queen will come here and there'll be a triple attack. Nihal has 7 seconds. Hikaru has 50 seconds. Queen c2 played, and now only move is rook c4. Yes, Nihal plays it. Need to take, pawn takes, queen takes, knight e7, queen f4. And in this endgame is a little bit of a difficult endgame for Nihal because Hikaru has an outside passer. Nihal must hold this. It's not easy. b5 first played, fixing this pawn as a weakness. Knight f5. We are going into a queen endgame. Queen takes a7. There is queen takes b5. So he defends it with a4. Check. Guys, big trouble incoming for Nihal Sarin. Goes queen f5. If you take on a7, what does he want? Maybe a check here. Oh, why did he not take this pawn? This was really a pawn that needed to be chopped off. But perhaps he didn't like queen h5, king g1, queen d1. Or he had to come up king g3. Okay, he didn't like that. Queen h4, queen b4, b6. No, queen e8. Check was winning. Queen e8, queen here and queen e4. Queen was getting traded, but he took g5, and now Nihal is back in the game. A very easy tactic missed by Hikaru, but now Nihal is back in the game. But I think with such a pawn, it's very difficult to defend in blitz. Queen d4, king g8, king f2. Oh, now Hikaru is coming with his king. This is not going to be easy. Oh, takes the pawn. Check. Queen c7, threatening here. Now Nihal has to continuously give checks. If the king runs away, he's losing. 9 seconds for Hikaru. Queen g4. Oh, he has 3 pawns now. b7. Oh, this is over. This is over. Now all that this king has to do is just evade the check somehow. Queen b8. Maybe there's some hope. Oh my goodness. Oh, he pins it. Pins it here. Pins it here. क्या चल रहा है दोस्तों? कुछ भी हो सकता है. Queen here. Check. Queen d8. Queen d6. Queen d5. King c8. Check back. Check back. Who's winning? Is it a draw? King coming to e7. Queen e4. King f8. Check here. Oh my god, his king is going to sit on h8. What? Unreal chess. King went and sat in the corner here. क्या ही king है भाई? Oh, but Nihal is now playing this. Is there some hope for Nihal? I don't think. No, come on. 2 queens, just too strong. Well played, Hikaru. Well played. That was a great game. The king going and sitting there was just too good. Who? And guys, the next game has started. Actually, this is very tough for us, the viewers and commentators. There's so much emotion. I can't believe how they can start these games so quickly. The next one. Okay. New game has begun. All is well. All is set. We had the London system. d4, knight f6, knight f3, d5, bishop f4, bishop f5, e3, e6, bishop d3 takes. Nihal says, I can take with the queen, but why don't I take with the pawn? That will help me control this. And yes, it's a double pawn, but that helps me to control more squares, gives me an open file. Okay. c5, Hikaru says you can undouble your pawns. Nihal says I don't want to undouble. Knight c6, castles. And Nihal is playing his own way. Rook c1, castles, queen b3, Bishop b6, knight a4. Okay, serious pressure coming up. a3, queen e7. No, bluff master. I have my heart rate machine here. I can actually wear it. Let's try it. I don't, even though I get really excited, my heart rate doesn't go up. Maybe I'm just. Let's try. Let's see if I can. Okay, let's see. Can I get the heart rate? First, I need to switch it on. No, I don't fake it. I'm really excited. I really enjoy it, but my heart rate doesn't grow. That's the main problem. Okay, cool. I think I can get it now. Okay, let me fix it in a bit. Till that time, let's follow the game. Knight a4. I thought there was some serious pressure here. a3, queen e7. He took. Rook c2. You can see how Nihal doesn't play d4. I would have actually gone d4 at some point here. But then he would have given up the c4 square. So Nihal keeps his pawns there. Plays it calmly. f6. Hikaru says your bishop is now blocked. Rook c1 takes d4 ed, knight d4, knight d4, ed4, knight c4. Okay, a rook e8. Now threatening a very cheeky back rank mate, so he says h3, rook d8. And now can we go queen d3 and b3? That is one. Oh, he goes queen f3. This bishop and this. It's the battle between bishop and knight. Okay, now let's take the queen. I think, yeah, take b3. Knight d6. Rook Gussier. Yes, goes in. Rook d4. Rook d4. I think I'll take, and then I'll get in with the other rook. Let's go. Goes knight f5. 1 second. He didn't take. He went here. Takes. Rook takes. And now can Nihal find this very cool? I mean, many moves are better for him here. The other move is bishop b8 to win this. We took on a7. Rook b4. I don't want to lose this pawn. Hikaru is one of the best defenders out there. He's able to defend inferior positions so quickly. Rook c7 says Rakshit. But Rakshit, even if you get your rooks, you lose this pawn. No, knight is defending here. So you need to be a little calm. Rook c3. Okay, but now d4. स्कोर अपडेट तो करो शांतनु गवाड़. शांतनु स्कोर अपडेटेड है देखो लेफ्ट में 4.5 2.5 टुडे ऑल ऑटोमेटेड. h5. Okay, h4 is his plan. Yeah, Siddharth, you are true that Hikaru is showing his class in the endgames. Also, Hikaru is able to defend very staunchly. Now, this position, Hikaru is worse. We'll see how he tries to defend. See what Nihal has. He has two pawns here. He's a pawn up, but two connected passers. So if you can get bishop d2, b4, b5, he would be better. Bishop f4, good move by Nihal. Guys, Nihal is facing some really amazing chess by Hikaru, but he has managed to keep a gap of just 2 points, and very well he will close it up to 1 point gap only. Suddenly the knight is feeling bad that he didn't take the bishop. Actually, could he have done that? Instead of d4, shouldn't he have taken maybe fg and then d4? I think that was a better decision. What Hikaru missed is that if he, by not taking and pushing the pawn, he allows this. Rook c8, bishop d2, rook b8. But now b4, why not? b4, b5. Then the bishop can reroute itself to a5 or somewhere. b6, b7, you know. He goes b4, rook c2, b5, rook a2. Okay, white's pawns look really very good, and the rook on a7 is like a guardian to these pawns. And also, look at this. Hikaru might want to sack here. Rook a2. His idea is to sack here if you're not careful. So he goes g4, takes, knight h4, oof, threatening to take here, and fork. So he goes bishop f4, but now, once again, Hikaru Nakamura, beautiful chess, takes here. What a nice move. I think Nihal missed it. Nihal misses it. And the thing is, you can't even take here and take d4 because check and you lose the rook. Wow. But I think Nihal was a little bit careless here. Instead of going g4, if he had gone just rook a6, he would have been safe. Two pawns up, no counterplay for his opponent. You can't take here because I'll take back and my rook is defended. But he played g4 and I think he missed this idea. Then now this check is a deadly one. And now, once again, he's back in the game. g4 weakened f3, that is true. Check king. Now what happened? Knight g6. Rook d4. Check king g2. Rook d8. Okay. King f7. No, Nihal won't lose this. Yes, I think Sarvanan Arun Kumar, I also want to add that total time left. I'll try to figure how to add it. King h7. Generally, they have a link whereby the clock is sort of synchronized. There's this website called Chronograph. But today I don't know what the link is. Bishop c7. Okay, maybe just push b6. Utkarsh Rathi says, how does it feel that Mr. Arvind Subramanian wrote about you in such high regards? Very nice, very grateful that someone took out the time to write, and it's really amazing. I feel humbled. b6. But now the pawn bishop is ready to support it here, but this is the final frontier. b7. How do you get there? Knight g5, king e2, knight e6. king here. Oh, Nihal once again has managed to create some play. King g6, f4, king f7, f5. Okay, okay. Guys, Nihal Sarin might well win this after Hikaru managed to pull up comeback. I think Nihal is once again, he's bringing his king in. He's galvanizing his forces together. He's saying the rook, if you go here, I'll push my pawn. So the rook wants to stay on the b file, but there are not enough squares. Jaga hai, jaga nahi hai. Rook b3 coming in. There's not enough space. Oh, rook b3 takes king d7. Hikaru says, my king is going to stop this pawn. Oh my goodness. Is this not going to win now? Oh, oh. Man, Hikaru Nakamura. What a defense. What a defense. बहुत जगह है, बहुत जगह. You know, how did he save that? Because, you know, here, I think Nihal made a mistake. What did Nihal do? Look, here guys, he played rook d3, b3. He could have done rook king c3, rook here, rook d4. And the point is, even if you go king e7, I go rook b4, my king is here. Right, and when you come here, I will block you. With your king can't come here anymore. I'll then get my bishop back, or I'll play king b5 and then push. But what he did was, he went here. And I think this very crucial one tempo behind allowed the king to sit on c6. Chess is a game of one tempo. Yeah, that is true. He didn't have enough time. That is true. But, I mean, Nihal had almost got him there. And if you think about it, what is happening in this match, even the game that Nihal won, was after a rook blunder by Hikaru. It was like that final position was drawn. So, Hikaru's defensive skills is not allowing Nihal to win. Although Nihal is getting good advantages. So, right now, the 5+1 segment is over. And we are going into a break for 5 minutes. And I think that's a good time for me to show you something that we have been working on. I would be very happy to get your views here, guys. And I don't know how many of you already know about it, but it's called Chess Ranga. We are developing it further every day. There's some work happening. It is, second, let me just go here. It's called academy.chessbase.in. If someone can put it. So here, this is what it is. Let me see, why is it? So the thing is, here you can, guys, this is not an ad. This is something that we are developing, and this is completely free for all of you to look at. And yesterday only I added this one. So if you go here, best games of Aaron Nimzovich. This is what I added yesterday. If you go here, now you have two options. One is this and here. Oh, nice. Nightbot said, So you can click here. Now you will see two Sagars. So here, this is Nimzo Indian. Now, all those who want to play King's Indian or Grunfeld can play their pawn up to G6. Correct? But I'm going E6. Now, white played knight c3. He's all ready to play his pawn in the center with e4. And so here's your first question already. It's an easy one. This game is not very tough, but you need to get all of them right. White to play. What would you play here? What's the move that you will go for? White to move. Black to move. Black to move. What are you doing? Sorry, black to move. Black to move. क्या आदमी है? And then when you ask, it comes up like this. So guys, can you make a move? So there you then move on your, and this works on the phone as well. You move this bishop here and it says amazing work. This is the correct move that leads to the Nimzo Indian defense. Black to move, not white to move. And what's the move that you will play in this position? Let me see how many of you have found this answer correctly. तो ये वाला जो वेबसाइट है ना, fantastic job by our chat. Build it up really well. Okay, that is his have everything here that you can work on. So one more question. Bishop a3 played by white, and now is your question. Second point. What do you play here as black? Black to play. Amay Kanitkar, knight e4 is also possible. That would be queen c2 over there instead of bishop takes c3. That was possible there. But what is the move that you will play here, guys? Please write it again. Sorry, all those who have written until now, please write your move. What would you play here as black? Black. So again, it comes up. White has just played bishop a3 and is putting some pressure on the diagonal. How do you deal with it as black? क्या खेलोगे? Yes, c5. So now the thing is, even if you don't play c5, okay, and you castle, c5 is the correct move here. I know it because I put it, but if you castle, it will say this is not the best as black is unable to meet e4 not effectively. If you go knight d7, it says this is a logical move and the idea is to meet e4 with e5, but it's not the strongest move in the position. So you see, it's an interactive format with many possibilities which have been factored in. Matlab, even if you put the wrong answer, it will tell you why it is wrong. So you can learn a lot. So you must go c5. Amazing move. Well done. With this, you not only block the bishop, but also fix the weakness on c4. So this is how we have, and it has many things here. There's also like if you go here, oops. If you go here and you can go to basic opening chess traps and you can learn traps in different openings. The game began. Just checking if no, the game has not started yet. Okay, cool. So why is this a bad move by black? White to play. So knight d4. It's correct. Excellent work. You take the knight and then castle. White is just better. But he actually took on e5. How do you punish white's last move, knight e5? Black to play. Yes, exactly. Kritika chess, you are right. Queen to g5. The queen moves to g5 and launches a double attack on the knight on e5 and the pawn on g2. So let's say you continue. And now, how do you finish this off? What should black play here? Queen takes e4. Bishop e2. It's time to deal the final blow. Black to play. Guys, ये खत्म करके फिर जाते हैं. Yes, it's the Blackburn Shilling Gambit. Knight f3. Checkmate. Wow, it's a smothered mate. What a sight to behold. Amazing. Let's go. Guys, you can sign up for free over there and learn. And please give me suggestions to improve it, because I think with your help, we can make it a lot more better. Follow Nihal Sarin. Let's go. Yes, the game has started. D4. Let me also make sure the live board is in sync. So d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5, e3, bishop e7, knight c3, castles, cd, ed, bishop d3, bishop g4, h3, bishop h5, knight e2 played. And now Nihal takes, this is now 3 plus 1, c5, b3, cd, knight d4, check, bishop d2, bishop d2, queen d2, he puts his knight out, bishop e2, rook c8, castles. The king is slightly weak. He's looking at this direction to attack. Goes king g2, knight e5, rook c1, knight g6, bishop d3, and now a6 played. Just when I think that Nihal will do something like check here or something, he wants to attack, he goes a6. Like, Shanti rakhenge. Gaming with Vishnu says, what is the meaning of Ranga? Ranga, basically, chess Ranga is based on Chaturanga. That is one word that was like the first name of chess. So we took Ranga for there. And also our thing is chess adds a lot of color in our life. And Ranga means color in Hindi. So it's like chess Ranga. Okay, you can go into an endgame, but that might not be the best. I think he should keep his queens on the board. But where? No, he doesn't. He takes it. Like Sagar, you just don't understand. I'm not going to keep it. Knight e7. B4. Jeez. What a huge mistake here, guys. Huge mistake would be knight c6. Because then I can take, and I can attack this with bishop d3. So I don't want to get into that right now. So bishop b3, king f8. a3, king e8, knight e2, king d7, king f1, king d6, king e1. Aditya says Sagarbai was forever looking for a resource like this for self-paced learning. Chess Ranga looks great. You know, my dream is, and this is something if someone gets into chess, then they should be able to start with something where they don't know anything. So let's say here you learn how to play chess. Level 1, what is the chessboard? Rook, knight, bishop, everything. Then you learn level 2, which is like hanging pieces, attacking pieces, so on. Then you go level 3. Then here you do chess principles for beginners. Then you have chess basic opening chess traps. Then you have chess classics. Then you have grandmaster chess, and you just keep on getting better and better, and you become an IM and a GM and so on, and everyone can learn from here. Okay, coming back to Hikaru versus me. Knight d7, f6, bishop 8. Yes, I will come at Phoenix Mall for this Saturday's chess club. So please do join in. Would be great. Scaletail says, Sagar, by long time since it's free, do you want to open source the site so that more people can contribute to it? I do not know the repercussions to it right now. For now, we are developing it. Shashwat, who is our tech head, he's working on it. But yes, I will discuss it with him, and maybe there's something to think of there. Yes, Chess Ranga is free, Bhavish. And now, by the way, this position is looking equalish, but knight endgames are always very tricky. But I think they're already repeated twice. Knight e5, king d5, knight d7, king d6. So maybe they'll draw this. Rakshit says Leechess is also an open source site. I made my first contribution to Leechess website recently. Wow. Nihal Sarin says, if you want to develop an Android app for Chess Ranga as well, I'm up for it. Oh, by the way, look at this, what he did. Check king here. A4. Oh, this has given a chance. Actually, Nihal didn't pick it up, but he had a big chance here to take here and play king c4. Because if you go king a5, I'll defend this, and now my king is active. It could get in, and these pawns could become weak. But not so easy to guess that this was good for you. So, going back, this is how both players played their moves, and I think now a draw might be the most logical result. Yeah, draw. So that leads our score to 5.5, 3.5. Hikaru still keeping a solid 2-point lead. Knight d2, c5. Yes, Avinash KR, the score updates automatically because I've taken the screen grab from the chess.com only. So, how to log into Chess Ranga? By academy.chessbase.in. You can see the link is in the pinned message. Queen a4. Yes, Randy Bell in the match is not over by any means because Nihal is definitely playing quite well, and all it takes is 1 or 2 wins, and then if you have a gap of 1 point, if you enter the bullet section through that, that is very much possible to equalize. So what Nihal mustn't do is sort of lose 2-3 games now, then that would be one-sided, because Hikaru is a beast when it comes to bullet. Oh, is there some plan that Hikaru has, like here, take on c5? Can we win this pawn? Pawn, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, and now take this pawn. With a check, and this pawn is also hanging, it's a back rank mate as well. So rook c6. JC0 says it's 2:30 AM in Australia. Thoughts on Magnus's win against Fabio? Oh man, Magnus is just too good, man. He's just not giving any chance to his opponents, and I think he will reach the finals. That was the semi-finals, right? That he beat Fabi. So whom will he play? I think MVL, right? Or Wesley. So who won the other semis? Who will face Magnus in the semis? MVL. So he's done this take. Maybe now queen c2 just. But queen a1. Queen a1. He goes g3. Okay. Check. King here. Queen takes d3. Pawn down in this endgame. That's not so comfortable. But okay. Rook c7. So let's say Hikaru or Nihal versus Magnus and MVL. I think Magnus most likely will reach the finals. And then let's say Nihal reaches, and then Nihal versus Magnus finals. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. मजा ही आ जाएगा. Nivya Pal Chaudhary says, checked out Chess Ranga just now. Looks amazing, Sagar. Thank you, Nivya. That's so cool to know. Rook b8. And oh, he's missed this. He's missed this. Now, can Nihal spot this tactic? Guys, look at this. Boom, boom, boom. Khatam. Khatam matlab it's a draw. Can he spot it? Has to take. Nihal actually missing some tactics here. That's unlike him. But I don't know. Maybe he didn't like something. Rook f7 was because the threat is also check. Like, let's say if you go here, it's already winning for white. Rook f8. Threatening mate. Queen a4. Queen f5. And once again, pressure on Nihal. Danny Nomo says it's called Hikaru effect. True, true. When you start trusting your opponent a bit too much, you start making moves like these, you start getting passive, your pawn down, and then it's trouble. Jugal Mehta says, I played Hikaru in person in October in an event in Toronto. That guy has so much respect for Nihal. It's so good to know. King h7. And I mean, we already witnessed Hikaru versus Nihal in India at the Tata Steel Chess India Rapid and Blitz, and Nihal managed to beat Hikaru in one of their games. I think Hikaru beat him in one of, and then it was draw. I think they had an equal score. Queen d4, rook d4, a5. a3. Yeah, this rook endgame looks tough. Looks tough for sure. But Nihal doing the right thing. He's exchanging pawns. Maybe king g6 or de. Good chances of a draw for Nihal. That is for sure. But when you have just 5 seconds left against 1 minute 15 seconds, that's tough. What about this now? Rook b4. Hey, why did he not play rook b4? Rook b4. What? Oh, he didn't want to get into this race. Acha. This queen endgame could have been a draw. So that's why he didn't play it. Smart. Rook c5, f3, king f6, king g3, e5, king f2, king e6. Hikaru doing the right thing, bringing his king over. And oof, he's winning this. Because see, now there are two advantages for black. One is that he's pawn up. Second is this, his rook is active. Remember this rule in rook endgames. When you have one advantage, it's generally not enough. If you have an active rook but equal material, that's only one advantage. If you have one extra pawn but passive rook, it's also one advantage. But if you have more active rook and one pawn, then it's two advantages. If you have two pawns, then it's two advantages. So two advantages would generally give you the win in rook endgames. Another loss for Nihal Sarin, excellently played. And what happened? Why was the game aborted? Okay, they started again. So the score now is 6.5, 3.5. How many matches left? I think we had like two more. There could be 2 or 3 more games in 3+1, and then we'll go to, or maybe three games more, and then we'll go to Pullet. E4 by Hikaru. So the opening that was played here was the Tarash, but from there we went into Queen's Gambit accepted. No, not Queen's Gambit accepted. Some symmetrical-ish line. H6, bishop h4. And now I think he can go g5. bg3, king e7, knight d7. I think looks like a Nihal-like position. Endgame with a small edge. See, why is black shown as better in such positions? Okay, look, you have to go g5. Good move. Nihal finds it. Nihal finds it and goes knight d7. Okay. h4 by Hikaru. Now king e7. And the point is, you have to feel, this is it. You have to sort of breathe in chess. You have to feel it. What do you have to feel? That look, here after king e7, black pieces are just much better placed. And the point is that after take, you can't snatch this pawn because of check, bishop f1. And now many ways to play, but I think a very typical way is, guys, what would you do here as black to play? Come on. Rakshit says, can you start a timer at 42 minutes? Okay, let's do it. You can then later on help me to sort of readjust it every few minutes. 42 minutes start. Okay, guys, I have the timer set in. And by the way, the moves that were suggested, let's see. Yes, bishop a6 is what I was looking for to attack this piece here. And so many of you have got it. Well done. Rakshit, Raksha, Geeta, Jo, Manav, Meet, Utpal, Pranav, Preeti, and Madhumita. And yes, you have to play a move like knight e2. You still can defend, but after e5, black is the one in driver's seat because white is sort of badly in trouble. And even if you do this, I can chop and take this with a winning advantage. So going back to the game, he went h g, rook takes, and long castle. Nihal went knight g4, rook d2, f6, bishop b5, rook d8, and he blunders. He blunders this move. What a huge blunder. And now Hikaru is actually winning another game. Wow, that is huge. Oh, some counterplay. Huge blunder by Nihal Sarin. Bishop f5, bishop d3. Ooh, he resigned. He resigned. That means Nihal now has what? 4 point down or? Wow, this is getting away. This is getting away from Nihal. And he's okay. Let's go. Knight f3, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, d5, e3. Take d4, knight c6, bishop b5, bishop d6 castles, cd. Okay, now knight d4, ed took. Okay, castles, h3, stopping bishop g4. He'll go h6, stopping bishop g5, rook e1, rook e8. It's all theory. Okay, takes knight e5. Oh, Nihal does this, and now f4. He defends this. It's not like Nihal has not got his chances in this match. He has got them, but it's just that Hikaru has played really well. He's defended staunchly. But if Nihal can take his chances that he's getting, he can very well do well. But that's the thing, when you are going downhill, your confidence is low. You are not able to spot the tactics, and that creates trouble. Bishop to b7. If white can do this, b4, bishop e3, knight a4, and knight c5, it would be amazing. But he goes king h2. He's coming out of this diagonal, which makes a lot of sense. a6, b4. Okay, looking here. a5, b5. Let's go. I like white's position because look, if I go b5 now, let's look at this. b5, you take. Now I can take here. I can even take here, but I think I'll take here, and then I'm looking here and here. Wow, that looks huge. That looks huge. But Nihal takes this. Queen takes. Now the position is equal. So he misses that opportunity of pushing b5. Not that it was winning or something, but it would have been very pleasant. Tanishq says, I was so excited for this match, but I don't think Nihal is in his best form. Yes, I think one of the things that makes chess different from a sport like, let's say, cricket, is that in cricket, if you are, by the way, knight d6 is possible to attack here and here, but black has one move that saves him entirely here. What is that move, guys? Black to play. So the difference is that in cricket you have different players coming. So let's say if the flow is in the favor of one team and the batsman, like, you have lost 5 wickets, then the new batsman who's coming is a new individual. He might have a different mindset. In such chess matches, it's the same guy who's playing. So while it may seem like every game is a fresh one, the player is carrying over all these thoughts and his sadness of having lost a game and the guilt of having blundered and all of that, which makes recovery very difficult. Yes, and all those who have answered here with c5, well done, guys. Beautiful move, because with this you cannot take the rook. There's a mate with the bishop and queen, and if you take here, I'll take this back. So a very important move that needed to be found and which Hikaru has done. So that's the reason why. Now after this he went queen d5, knight d6, c5 happened, queen g4 defending g2, h5, queen g3. Oh, look at this tempting, beautiful move that was there. Deflection 101. Rook a3, deflecting the queen. It was such a pretty move here. But he went here, and now there was knight f5, so that if you go rook g6, there is knight e7 check. But he went knight b7, queen b7, f5, h4, found by Hikaru. What a move. He basically found this because if you take here, e5 is hanging. But I can go queen f4. That's what Nihal does. Good move by Nihal. Rook e8, f6, knight f8. Another brilliant defensive move found quickly. But can we go queen g5, threatening a mate? Because if knight g6, we can push e6. If you take here, your knight is hanging. Look at this, queen g5. No, it takes on h4. Because I think queen g5, there was also knight e6 that had to be contended with. But then I can take here. Okay. g6, queen g3, queen d5. Oh. gf, d3, h4, rook a4. My goodness, what a move found by Hikaru so quickly. Rook takes f4, because if you take knight takes f4, it's a mate. Hg, rook is hanging, rook f5, blunder, e6. Oh, what a move by Nihal Sarin. Look at these 3 pawns. Wow. e6 missed by Hikaru, and this is winning. Queen e3. Wow. What a position. I've never seen such a position. Amazing. Amazing. And Hikaru's going to resign this because one of the pawns coming forward. I think the moment that changed it all here was the move e6. He carried down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take, rook takes, c takes, rook takes, pawn takes, f7, king f8, rook b1, and wins. Wow, Nihal Sarin makes a brilliant comeback there. And the main thing was that if I can go back to this game somehow, the new game has started. But let's look at it in the break. What a game that was. Outstanding. Outstanding. Much needed game. Much needed win for sure. Yeah, let me just reverse this. Sorry. All good. Scores are the following. 4.5 for Nihal. 7.5 for Hikaru. So 3-point gap. Now we have the Rui Lopez. No, but Hikaru was just winning. He played rook f5. That was a blunder. Again, I can actually show you the game if I can load it. 1 second. Yeah. Let's see if I can bring this up. Just a second, guys. Yeah. So the thing is, just very quickly, so that you guys don't miss out on this very critical game, we reached here. I think a board is a little bit cut, but okay, let's just, you can live with it perhaps. He went here, and because the moment is this side, this was the blunder. He had to play queen d4, defending here. Because then after queen d4, if you play e6, then you have check and it's a mate. Like you have to give up the queen. That was the key point. So once he went here, e6 was such a cool move because you go here f7. If you go here f7, if you take this here this way, then I have check here. That was so quickly spotted by Nihal. This was the point of this entire thing, and that's how Nihal won. Okay, going back. Okay, so here if you see, it's a very stable position, but there's a small imbalance. White has taken fe3, and because of this he has he has the open f5. So the game continued knight f1, d5, ed, cd, knight g3, rook c8, bishop b3. And I like Nihal's position. Nihal seems to have a fine position. Queen b6, king h2, rook d8, rook d2, a5, bishop c2, b4, bishop a4, rook e7, knight f5. I think you can maybe take, but you can also move the rook. He moves the rook. And so Nihal, with his very strong center and nicely placed pieces, is seriously fighting for a big advantage here. Rook d c8. Yes, so I think right now the time left is 27 minutes in this segment, perhaps. So knight d2 taken. Okay, firstly, knight f4, fantastic. Now there is a fork looming large here. You don't allow that. You play queen e3 to trade the queens, but your e4 pawn is a weakness. Your c3 pawn is going to get weak because the rook is looking here. He goes rook c2. Okay. g6. What, giving up this pawn? I think Nihal knows that after king g7, it's already, the knight is trapped. So Hikaru goes back, doesn't take this. Nice. Okay, I'm just trying to work it out. I want to get in with my knight here. BC, BC. Knight here, king, queen e2. So that doesn't work. He goes knight d3, queen e2. Okay, knight f4, trying to, gain some time. Queen f3, king g7. Let's see who blinks first here. Both players have almost equal time on the clock. Nihal is better because of his structure. As you can see, his piece is well placed. E4 pawn is a weakness. C3 is a weakness. He wants to get into rook d3, bishop e6 taken, queen e6, knight b3. Do you push the pawn? But then there's a fork here. You can't push the pawn. You need to move the queen back to b6. I think he'll do that. This knight does not have this square. But if white can get c4 and knight d4, knight d5, that would be quite good for him. What is Nihal thinking? Is down to 12 seconds. He goes queen c6, knight a5. Hikaru takes the pawn, but oh, we are going into an endgame. Now, white's weakness could become a strength, but these two knights and the rook, f6, and he's threatening h5, c5, h5. Do you want to save your knight? Do you want to push the pawn? You can't really, because then the knight will later on come and block here. He goes knight f2, takes, rook c3. Now putting this under pressure, knight b3, h4, knight. Oh, if he wins this pawn, he's winning the rook endgame. Because, guys, look, 4 pawns versus 2. You have 2 extra pawns here. It doesn't matter. No, don't exchange. Yeah, rook c2, a4, take this. But take, rook a5, block. Now bring the king. Take this, no problem. Oh, h4 played by Nihal. King f6. This should be winning. But somehow the rook is a bit passive. You need to get your rook going. Rook back. I think this rook has to come back, but when the rook moves back, the pawn will start pushing and taking away more space. The king is coming here. King b4. Okay, he's going to lose this pawn. f4, e4 played, defending this. Rook f4, take this. But these pawns are just too strong. I mean, this king is blockading these pawns. Let's see if there's any hope for Nihal. Check. No, rook here, stopping. Now he wants to play e3 with a check. King f5, e3. He has the h pawn. Beautifully defended by Hikaru once again. Great defense. And not letting Nihal win this. Cheeky Nihal wants to bring his rook in, but Hikaru can just sack. Yeah, h5. He's in time. This pawn is very strong. It will net the rook, king g7. It's all a matter of one tempo. In the end, it is and a draw. What a game. Hikaru still keeping a 3-point lead. Great game, right? It was a great game. I think somewhere here, I felt Nihal did mess up the rook endgame because I thought he had a good chance here. Maybe this is the moment where instead of pushing his pawn to h4, which he did, if he would have taken and gone king h6, king g3 and king g5, he would have had, I think this is a winning position. Because next move you can also go f5, take, and your king is very active. It's just you have to take these decisions with very few seconds. Like Nihal had 8 seconds at this point, and so intuitively he thought keeping more pawns on the board would help. And instead of f5, and in the end what happened was that this pawn which was left out, h3, eventually went on to create the issues. Oh no, it's not a one-way fight for sure. Both players fighting really hard, but Hikaru is I think the key differentiating factor is Hikaru's defense in losing positions, and that is at least saved him 2 points here. Rakshit says if Nihal can go into bullet with a 2-point deficit, He can have chances. I don't know who's better in bullet, Hikaru or Nihal. And I think the way Anish played bullet with Nihal, Nihal did look very suspect in the bullet segment in his match with Anish. So bullets can go to anyone. Nihal has the stamina, says Ramit. Yeah, he's younger than Hikaru. But Hikaru just streams every day. So maybe Hikaru loves this sort of streaming and playing. It'll start in like 2 minutes now, the next game. I should have stopped the timer actually. But okay, you guys can tell me what is the timer when the match starts. I watched Magnus documentary and it's awesome, says Captain OSS. Yes, it's a beautiful movie, Magnus documentary. You should check it out. Also, do check out album 61 by Boris Gelfand. Beautiful one. It's freely available. Just search it. I love it. I've seen it. Preetham Raghuvanshi says this is Hikaru's bread and butter. Yeah, literally, he does it every day. I think Magnus documentary is not freely available out there, but this album 61 is. योगेश से आज मजा आएगा बुलेट में. Guys, what is up? What are you doing these days? What is happening in your life? Chess player quote says today will be titled Thursday for Hikaru. Sort of. Exam says Aetherius noob. Okay. Eating dinner says Chinmay. End sem exams. Study. Waiting for year end holidays. Working says Fasi Ahmad. Following FIFA World Cup. Exams chal rahe watching chess games. Struggling to improve chess. Sun Tzu says preparing. I'm doing coding, says Ujjwal. Started with my CA articleship. Now I get less time for chess, says Namish. Namish, you should try to do articles at a CA who loves chess. Many CAs love chess. Rakshit says I'm working on bots that can help gamifying chess improvement. Holiday starting after 10 days. That's my plan in January to finish that project. Wow. Very nice, Rakshit. If you need any, of course you can contact me and any testing or something. Aditya says, seeing this chess boom in India, I too started chess club in my school. Very cool. I should be studying but can't skip chess, says Rohit AP. Neeraj says 9 to 5 office and some tactics every day. Are badhiya, Neeraj. Prakhar says interviewing for jobs. Seeing your live chat. The other semi-finalists Sovik are Magnus and MVL. Many of you are preparing for your exams, and I know that it can be a very difficult, stressful time when you are all preparing for your exams. But I think just keep in mind that this too will pass, that exams will go, and whatever you have studied will stay with you. So try to study it in a way where you are able to enjoy it and remember it rather than take stress. Easier said than done, but Rakshit says, Sagar, no plans to go to Sandeep Maheshwari's show. I think I should think about it and I would like to write to him. At some point, I will. Amruta and I were talking about it, and it would be, I think, cool if we went, but of course it's not a given that we would be invited, but let's see. City Foods Foodie says got a new job in the metro. Oh, nice. Sarthak Patil says lonely. Sarthak Patil, lonely also means that you. Oh, by the way, is the game started? Maybe I am. Lonely also means that you have time to sort of give to yourself. So you can work on yourself. Yes, the game has just begun. Let us go. Let me also add a couple of minutes to this and make it. Yeah, something like this. Okay. D4, 22 minutes. Oh, okay. Lokesh Natu, thank you so much for your super chat. D4, knight f6, c4. E6, knight f3, d5. We have the queen's gambit declined. G3. Ooh, Nihal playing a little sharp line here. Catalan, but with knight c3. Generally, you don't put your knight here so soon. Bishop g2, b6. CD, knight d5. Okay, this is looking good for Nihal. This opening position. At least slight edge. Bishop g5, f6. Bishop d2, bishop b7. Rook c1. King h8. One of the plans could be here knight h4, knight f5, but other is also knight e1, knight d3. Nihal goes for knight e1, knight a6, knight d3, queen d7, b4, c6, queen b3, rook e8, rook e1, knight c7, bishop f4, and Nihal Sarin putting pressure slowly and steadily on his opponent because this structure has a weakness on c6 point. Also b5 at the right time with a4 could weaken the d5 square. So looking good for Nihal for the time being. Also e3 just, and if you look at this position guys, e3, bishop takes, queen takes. Now notice this, the bishop sitting at home putting pressure here, the rook also joining in, while the structure here bulletproof. You don't want to take this pawn because after this oops, my rook is hanging. Sorry, I shouldn't take here, but maybe what should I do? Maybe I have to do this. Oh, so actually taking this pawn is possible. So perhaps Nihal won't easily play e3. Queen d6. Oh, he did play e3. So he was ready to sort of give up this pawn. He saw that rook e2, rook c2 is possible. Bishop c4 played and Nihal sacks an exchange. And he says to Hikaru, I now have one pawn and a piece for your rook and for my rook, and also c6 is weak. Knight d5, b5, fantastic move by Nihal. Rook d8, knight c7, rook c1. Now this position is just very much better for Nihal. Let's see if he manages to convert this, because Hikaru is a beast at defense. Now d5, good move. He's fixed everything. Now next move e4 with a nice pawn chain. Later on the knight can jump in. No, this was very nice move, because queen here Hikaru went for bishop c4, just chopped it. And now he has this 2 pawns plus these connected passers. It's too much. If Nihal wins this, he reduces the deficit to 2 points, which would mean e4, which would mean that he's back in the game, back in this match. G4. Okay, let's go easy. Like, can we go h3? He goes knight f4. Somehow the knight has to dislodge the queen. And I think the easiest thing to do is knight e2, knight d4, knight f5. You know, they used to say this thing that give a grandmaster a knight and he tosses it in the air and it lands on the right square. I mean, it's an exaggeration, but you understand where I'm getting at. It's like the grandmaster always knows where the right square for a knight is, and that's the thing for Nihal here. By the way, Hikaru trying to get some play with b5. Only 25 seconds left for Nihal. He must take care of his time. I think queen f4 trading queens should not be a bad idea. Yeah, he does that. Oh, but blunders. Knight d4. Oh, what a move. What a move. If he can find it, that would be epic. No, but he doesn't. He goes knight c3, which is the second best. You know the reason why knight d4 was so strong? It's because, let's say, if I take here, queen takes, there is rook b1 hanging. And that was the point. And there is knight e2 and this check. And so here, this knight d4, if he went rook e1, there is rook b1 dislodging the rook. If you take here, there is knight e2. That same thing, now when he went knight c3, he took here, but actually rook e1 was better. Rook b1, this point you can go queen d2, which you couldn't do if your knight was on d4 somehow. Because here, just explaining this, rook here, queen d2, there is rook e1, queen e1, and knight e6. That knight is attacked, which was not. But here Nihal blunders with rook b8 and he gives up his queen. Wow. And what a change in this thing. But Nihal's pieces. Oh, he's given up his bishop b7. Check. Black one on time. Man, how the thing changed here. Nihal was totally winning. From there, Hikaru fought back. What a guy. And I think this is actually going to hurt Nihal a lot this entire game. He was playing it so well, and then that rook b1 move came in and oof. And there was still a draw perhaps, but I think it's tough to recover from a game like this. And if Nihal sort of comes back and wins this game, I would be super impressed. Guess I should have fixed the battery. Yes, all good. Thank you guys. Rook c8, bishop d3, knight e4, bishop e7, knight e7, knight e2, queen b6, rook b1, knight c6, a3, rook e8, b4, a6, queen b3, rook d8, here knight e7, No, the last defense was too good by Hikaru. It showed. And what I like about Nihal is that in spite of getting hit so many times from a nice position, he is fighting back every single time. Can we think of some sacrifices in this range? But you know, you can't take because the queen is defending this knight. I can't win it yet. I think, guys, definite favorite is Hikaru right now to take this home. But what I can think is that if Nihal, now there are 12 minutes, right? So I think there will be, this game will end and then there will be one more, most likely. If there is also, there might be two more games. So totally three. If Nihal can win two out of those and reduce the deficit to 2 points, maybe he has to win, yeah, two wins and one draw. Then we have a match with the bullet. By the way, he cannot take here, it seems. Queen takes b5, this position. A b5, queen b5, because of bishop takes h3 now with this hanging. So that's why Hikaru has paused and is thinking, कि भाई करूँ तो करूँ क्या? What should I do? And so Hikaru goes knight c3, which is a very good move. He is now looking here, he's looking here, he's looking here. And also bishop h3 this time does not work because of knight takes d5, attacking this way. So knight c3, and now Nihal has 1 minute 54 seconds. Prajwal, I don't think Nihal has been passive. Nihal has got many good positions which he has not been able to convert because of Hikaru's resistance. And I've heard this from many players that what Hikaru is really good at is keeping his morale high even in bad positions he takes, and looking at, you know, very good defensive ideas. That is what Hikaru does very well. And by the way, Hikaru has given Nihal an option to take on b1, which might not be so easy to find because your knight might get trapped there, but actually it's defended by the bishop. So see, he has taken one knight, and here he should have taken back queen c3, but after rook e7 he has given an option to Nihal to take. Now for Nihal to decide, should he take this and keep the position like equal with one pawn up here? He does that. He does that. I expected Nihal to do that, but knight b1 was stronger. He takes with the rook. Okay. He takes with the rook. And now look at this tactic, guys. If you take here, he'll take with the queen. You want to give a check here, but the knight is defending. So what do? What's the deflecting move? Guys, black to play. What's the deflection? And will Nihal spot it? Important moment. Important moment. Takes it. Nihal spots it. And I don't know how many of you in the chat also spotted it. But if you guys did spot it, amazing. Kritika, Mistadam, Aditya ji, Suyash, Aikansh, Jai, Manaswi, Arnab, and Rakshit, Sarthak. Well done, guys. Fantastic. So here, after knight d4, queen e1, king h2, bishop b1, Hikaru under some pressure. He is down to 13 seconds. He goes rook e3, but now f2 is hanging. That's a free pawn because you can't take the bishop. The rook would hang. Will Nihal see it? Yes, he sees it. Good move. 10 seconds left on the clock. Resigns. He resigned. Wow. Wow. Hikaru has been defending so staunchly, but all of a sudden resigned this game, which gives Nihal the win. And now the gap is reduced to 3 points. That's what I was meaning. And b3 by Nihal. He says, time to bring out my secret weapon. I want to play b3. So now after b6, b3, here, I think they transposed into some kind of d4 opening only. But Nihal at least started off with something new. Rook d1, bishop f8. Yeah, that is Aditya ji, you are right. We heard from Hikaru, usually he likes to bleed clock time. That is true. But now that's the thing. I think there are 7 minutes left. And what Nihal would love for to happen is that if he can win this game and then have one more shot at another blitz game and then win that and take it at 9-8. Oof. Kya hi hoga fir to. Okay, now very important for Hikaru to find knight 7 f6, but it's kind of forced. Because the main point is that if you try to push me away with a move like h6 here, I have knight f7. And you take here, and I go boom. This is some insane bit of chess. Rook takes. Now rook takes d5. If you take here, my bishop takes. And although I'm a rook down, there are all sorts of threats at your king. Oh, did he play h6? My god, did he blunder? Hikaru did play h6. And now Nihal should take here. But actually he goes this move, which is also not bad. It's not bad. Not bad, guys. Nihal in with a great chance now. 96. Important move. I think he'll find it. We might reach the same position. Rook d5. The only difference is king was on f7. Now, don't take this rook. Don't take this rook. This bishop is worth its weight in gold. Boom. Let's go in, Nihal. Let's go in or let's attack from here. Let's do that. Because if you play rook c7, your threat is to take and take the knight on d7. Queen g4, yes, that's a good move. Knight c5. Now you can take another big sack incoming. Then bishop a8, queen a8, queen e6. Or no, wait. Rook c5, bc5, bishop e6. You're only then exchange down. King h8. And just play that position. Let's go Nihal. Let's sack. Nihal playing an amazing aggressive game. Amazing game. No, he takes on a8. Not bad. He's still better, but he should have. No, the thing is, if he takes with the queen, rook c5 and queen e6 are good for, is winning for white. He would then just be 2 pawns up. So I think Hikaru cannot take here. But if he doesn't take, he can do this. Queen a8, rook c5. He can make an intermediate take here. So then fe3, he will only be 1 pawn down after b takes c5. But that 1 pawn is also quite a healthy pawn for Nihal. Fire on board, yeah? It's big fire on board that we are seeing here. h5, but now queen f3. Just defend it. 2 pawns down. Guys, this is over. Just queen f3. And Nihal will spot it. Nihal will spot it. 2 pawns down. Khatam. Just defend your bishop. And then the match score will be 9-7. The time is 4 minutes left. And I think we'll have one more blitz game. And Nihal is in good form. And guys, remember, Nihal had lost a completely winning position. From there, he has come back this way. Yes, he found queen f3. Good job. Knight b3 now. Okay, what do? Do you go bishop d5? No, but then knight c1 unnecessary. Let's just go rook c7. Rook on 7th can't be wrong. Because you put pressure here. Bishop d5. Bishop d5. Oh! Hot move. Hot move. White won. Hikaru resigns because bishop e6 was hanging. Bishop d4 would come in. King is weak. He resigns the game. Nihal Sarin moves to 7 points. Now the difference is just 2 points. They will have one more game, I believe. What a game. Guys, this I would say, Nihal has played this like not like his style. He went knight g5, he sacked on e6, he sacked on f7. He was like boom, 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 boom. And then I don't know why the next game is not starting, but I guess they want me to analyze this game. And you're like boom, 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 boom. What a game. Nice game. Love it. Is the time over? Is the time over? Or what is it? Then why are they not playing the next game? Or has it started? I'm not able to see. And now 2 points difference. 2 minutes left. So they'll play one more game. Then let's say if Nihal by chance wins, then it's 9-8. And then they go into bullet. Rematch. Okay, all done. They started. Okay. Nihal plays this. What? Hey, एक second. Did he do something fishy here? No. It's just mainline stuff. It's all. I think Hikaru would have prepared this very well. And I think Nihal playing this opening, well, the best outcome is a draw. It's a very equalish opening. Yeah, queen c6 maybe. This is very equalish. White has the bishop pair, but then one of the bishops gets traded. Rook a d8. So very likely that we'll reach with 9.5, 7.5 in bullet with 8 games to play and everything to play for. Maza aega. No, I don't think that black will lose this game in any way. And also Hikaru might do well to just sort of draw this one. Because then that will at least stop he's lost 2 games in a row. Must take with the pawn, I believe. So with the queen, take, rook b7 coming in. I like white's chances here. This is weak. Some pressure. By keeping the queens on the board, yes, the king would have been weak, but you could also use it to your advantage. King h8 and rook a3. Now he's going to hassle you. Yes, Nihal has actually played very well. I wouldn't say that it has been a one-sided fight by any sense. Nihal has fought tooth and nail, and I can also say that if Nihal had converted all his chances that were there, then he might have. Oh, Nihal Sarin offered a draw and Hikaru declined the draw. Wow, it's interesting. If Nihal would have converted all, maybe we would have had an equal score until now. Jaideep says, I think Nihal is going to make a big comeback in bullet. Let's see. Rook a3. Well, I think the first step for Nihal is to draw this game. If he manages to do that, then we he then we go to bullet segment. But yeah, this is not a given, yeah, that he holds this Nihal, because white has an outside passed pawn, and these double pawns don't look so pretty, like extra pawn here, but how do you make use of it? So rook c3, putting pressure here. Smart move. If you take, I take, you take, I take here. Rook c4. Okay, f5, maybe that's a good time to now start pushing h5. King g6, f5. King here, rook d7. Nihal is defending it staunchly and also keeping a good solid minute on the clock, which is very important, because once you get low on time in a slightly worse position, it becomes difficult to defend. Okay, 4. Yeah, now Nihal has got everything under control. His rooks are attacking all white pawns. This rook cannot move because then d4 hangs. This rook cannot move somewhere. d4 is hanging, so a2. Okay, now just take this. Take on d4, take on d4. No, he didn't take. Oh, Nihal wants to play for a win or not. I mean, not win, but Nihal is taking some chances here, guys. He wants to get in. Oh, rook e2. Let's go to the 7th heaven. Man, is this going to be something? Because once, yes, he plays it. Rook takes c7, rook g2 here. Rook d4. At least for the time, Nihal might be a pawn up. He also has the h pawn passer. Nihal thinking 27 seconds, good time here for him to decide what to do. Taking seems like the right decision. What is he thinking about? What else? 18, 17. He plays rook e2. Check king here. h4, king h3. Yeah, Hikaru saw that all very quickly. And somehow Nihal can't win this because now rook g7 check. Rook a5 check. And if you go f4, your h4 pawn was hanging. So that's a problem. And now they are agreeing to a draw. That brings us to the end of the blitz segment. Very good recovery by Nihal, I must say. I think, what was the score when we ended the 5+1 segment? Was it like yeah, this is no, there is one more segment, 30 minutes of 1+1 bullet, guys. It was 3-point lead. Yeah, there was 3-point lead. So now Nihal has brought it down to 2, which is pretty good. Kinshuk says bullet mein Nakamura is going to crush Nihal. Okay, I see a lot of different opinions in the chat. Time to do our poll and to see that who's the one who's correct here, who's going to get correct. So I'm going to put up a poll here. This last one was, the last poll was very interesting. We had 7,300 votes where we asked who do you think is stronger in online chess, and we had 52% Nakamura, 48% Nihal. which is very interesting. I think generally on ChessBase India, the Indian player gets a very high vote, but here you guys have been very objective. So I want to do another poll, which is, who do you think is stronger in bullet chess? Nakamura or Nihal Sarin? Let's see. The bullet will start in, I think, roughly 3 to 4 minutes now. So guys, just go get something to eat, grab your popcorn, and join me for half an hour of amazing chess. It is going to be edge of the seat action, thriller, roller coaster. And if Nihal wins it, guys, he reaches the finals. And then this young lad, what to say about him? He reaches finals of chess.com global championship. He reaches the finals of chess.com speed chess championship. He's just amazing. So 56% people think Nihal is stronger in bullet chess. 44% think Nakamura. We have 650 votes. Rishi Kumar says half an hour of no intention to understand chess. Yes, adrenaline pumping action, right? It's not like, oh, ye kyu khila, acha, haan, ye ho is attack. By the way, I really like the games of the of this rapid, I mean 3+1 segment, because I think there were some great games that they played, and I was seriously very impressed by this defense that Hikaru managed to showcase here, because this was a great game. Nihal sacked an exchange. He was pushing and pushing here. He got his pawn to d5 as well. Everything was looking really nice. And then all of a sudden here he blunders with queen f4. And even I didn't see it, or I mean, it was just a if he went queen h4, he was doing well. And now knight c3, and Nihal just gave this, because I think he just missed that there is rook e1, rook e1, rook b1, and queen d2. This, then he checked here, and then what happened was that somehow magically, not ratakali but magically, sorry for that joke. By the way, if you take here, I can queen takes and check, and you lose there. So this take e5, and now this blunder, because I think this was a draw here. If he would have played bishop d5, queen d5, and c8 queen, draw. But he blundered here with queen g6, and suddenly Nihal realized what he had done. The main problem is if he goes anywhere, king f1 or h1, check comes and he loses the bishop. And if he drops it back with bishop g2, there is still a check, and then the bishop has to go back. And then queen c1, I pin you here, and this is hanging. So this was a good game, actually. This was a very interesting battle. Then I think there was this one, which was, I would say, until now Nihal's best game here. In this match, which started with this move, which is unlike Nihal move, knight g5. Because Nihal generally doesn't go for moves like this. He did it, and then he sacked here, and knight f7 was perhaps stronger, but he took, and now he has sacked 2 knights already. Then he sacks an exchange, so it's almost like you have sacked a rook and a piece. So you are now down an entire rook. But if you win back the rook, you'll be 2 pawns up. And yeah, I think the way to win here is to take here. King h8 and then bishop d4. I'm just very solid here. And did it start? Yeah, many interesting games, but now let's just wait for the games to begin because we don't want to miss any action. Let me also start my timer and keep it ready. 30 minutes. Oh, started. Started. Just started right now, guys. We didn't miss anything much. Let's start the timer. All good. Okay. So Nihal with the white pieces opens with again b3, which worked for him, but this time a double fianchetto. Knight c3, and guys, bullet chess, two bullet beasts playing against each other. It's amazing. It's going to be fantastic fun. We have everything set in. Okay, takes. Knight takes f6, knight takes f6. Looks like black's position is nice because he's got the b5 break. Now he goes here, knight d5, bishop g7. Nihal gets this important bishop. Knight b4, but now bishop h6 threatening a mate in one. No, he goes rook d2. Okay, all good. This looks very scary for black because look, the queen and bishop are going to join forces and threaten some really big attack. He takes. Oh my god. Takes, rook b8, bishop h6. Let's go, Nihal. Let's go for bishop h6, f6. Then the king is weak. Push c5. Open up your rook to get in. Then maybe take and your queen can enter here. Some big plans there. But Nihal taking his time, 19 seconds, 17 seconds for Hikaru. Oh, bishop h8 he played. f6 he sacks. Rook takes. Oh, he's given up his bishop. Queen g7. But now maybe, what do you do? Rook d7, there is rook. He plays queen d2. Fine move. Fine move here. Just centralizing the queen, coming out of any discourse. And Hikaru down to 2 seconds. Play queen e7. Now a3 traps the knight. Oh, the knight is trapped. Queen e2. ab4. Queen takes. And now rook takes a6 is hanging. He's going to be a pawn up. He can put his rook. No, he plays rook b4. He's attacked this pawn. Maybe he defends this. No, he goes check. This is really better position for Nihal. No, he's going for mate. Rook h8, but Hikaru defends it. And all of a sudden, Hikaru once again managing to hold this tough position. What a defender Hikaru is. If he was a footballer, you should put him on the defense. Doesn't let the opponent get to the goal post in any way. And manages to hold this. Wow. Draw. Incoming. So close. Nihal was this close to victory. What? Oh, he blundered a rook. Oh, Nihal Sarin blundered a rook. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He blundered a rook. Man. And that was just, it was a draw. But he lost a rook in the skewer. Okay, let's get back. What a big thing that was. Okay. Knight b6. Three-point gap now instead of two. But Nihal showed in the last game that he is really very strong at bullet. He found some great ideas, but now Hikaru pushing here. 3-point gap already, and time running down. 25 minutes left for Nihal. He shouldn't lose another game, and Hikaru clearly better here. King f7, knight e5 check incoming here. Look at this tactic, guys. There was a big tactic in this position whereby he could have played, instead of this, bishop e3, knight e5, and if king takes here, I believe, oh, bishop g5 would have been just over. That was the thing. Bishop g5 and it's over. So that was the tactic missed by Hikaru, and that gives Nihal some hopes, but he is in trouble. He's being pushed back from all sides. He's pinned, badly pinned. Bishop takes c5, bishop takes, queen takes b5. Okay, that's some hope here. Now knight d4. Knight d4. Actually, that's big hope. "28 seconds for Nihal. Knight d4. Good move. He just takes his time because he realizes, why are we playing so quickly? We have a 1 second increment. Knight d4, bishop d4. If you notice, what has happened in this position is that the b7 pawn is weak, and the opposite colored bishop position does make it like good chances for a draw. Take, and now bishop, just plonk your bishop here, so that eventually when white tries to win material on the f pawn, on the b pawn, you can go and try to win this. No, this queen a5. Yeah, this should be drawn. But after what we saw last game, anything can happen. Queen b4, queen b6. Yeah, just keeping it safe, attacking f2, keeping the queen here. Man, Nihal has to be very careful not to get checkmated with this. Yeah, queen a6, queen c7. He's holding on. He's holding on. But Hikaru is going to make his life very tough, very miserable. He's got in. And Nihal will lose this. Check, king takes. Going to lose this pawn as well. Queen e6. This hanging. And Hikaru wins, showing what a beast he is in this format. 23 minutes left for Nihal, and he's just being outplayed here in this bullet. He needs to win 2 games, 3 games. I think if one more loss, it already becomes too difficult. But if one win for Nihal, I mean, it doesn't mean much because he's 4 points down now. But still, we have some hope. Yeah, all bishops fianchettoed there. b5 is very similar to what happened in the last game. Knight e4. Okay, takes. I would say that there is no one trickier than Hikaru. I mean, Nihal is great, but Hikaru, the way he is tricking his opponents is just too good. Okay, now Nihal sets up this battery here. d5. Okay, knight e5. Pick queen d4, attacking the rook. Queen d4, attacking the rook here. Also possible. Knight d3. Okay. Rook c7. He's played his knight to f4. He's putting pressure on this pawn. You can't go e6 because you'll lose your knight. Rook d7. Maybe you want to go queen d4 because e5 is not so easy. h5. h6. He's got this pawn, but e5. Central pawns for white, for black, but white has pawn on h6. And I can tell you guys, this pawn is very important. This is a very important pawn. But knight he goes d4. e4 को ये मर रहा है. So right now it's fine. Knight e4, threatening knight c3. Nihal under huge pressure in this match, and I think the bullet format, just Hikaru showing that he is the better player right now. b4 with the idea of knight g5. No, queen c2. Oh, he's given up a rook. And now even g5 with the idea of taking this pawn would be just very clinical. a5, a3. Take, queen f8, but now queen d2. Defend. This, what, rook e1? Why? Why would you give this? That was the key pawn. e4. Wow. I mean, Hikaru is not making a mistake. He's not making a mistake. e3. No, it's just lost. The king is too weak. Yeah, threatening rook e2. If Nihal can save this, what? Some chance. Oh my god, he's getting a draw. King c2, king c4. b7. Oh, draw. That's a lucky break. Lucky break for Nihal. Very tough to hold this. Very tough to hold. No, he doesn't. He can't hold it. Knight h2, f5. Nice move. And Nihal loses. I think he's lost. But still, wait. King g2. Yeah, black one. Black one here. 5-point lead for the match. With what time left? 18 minutes. That means we have roughly five or six games left. But I mean, to win all the bullet games is impossible. But let's see if Nihal can make a comeback. Because right now Hikaru, it feels like he's just invincible in bullet. Okay, he shut everything down, but there is one way to open. a4, and then if b4, a3. Both kings running. Kinshuk says, we didn't understand why he resigned. Kinshuk, king was coming to g2 in that position, and the knight was hanging. There was no move for the knight left because the pawn came to f5, g4 was controlled. So the knight was completely dominated and he would have lost it, so he resigned. You can see how Nakamura has put his pawns here. If you play this, he'll close it with b4. And while theoretically Nihal is better because he has the better bishop, what do you do with it? Your bishop, yes, it is not blocked by its own pawns, but it is blocked by the opponent's pawns. So maybe a draw most likely, but you can see how Nakamura is not drawing the game. Um, he is making different moves so that this bleeds more time for Nihal. And yeah, it's a good strategy. I mean, it's what this format is all about. And while Nihal is just, yeah, that's just a draw. Oh, will Hikaru that now do this thing where he'll make a lot of moves and then he'll gain time, like he's look at his time 1 minute 10 seconds, and then he'll let it run till 2 seconds and then again. But I think that would be not the right thing. But you can do it. क्या चल रहा है? हाँ, ये कर लो पहले। गाइस मैं जरा जाके थोड़ा खाना वाना खा के आता हूँ, तब तक ये लोग कर रहे हैं। नहीं, खत्म होने आया। Oh my god, he's doing the same thing which we spoke about. He made a lot of moves and then he's letting his time bleed down, and then he will, oh my god. Very smart. You make use of all the resources you have. Guys, the poll question was, is Hikaru stronger or Nihal? I think in bullet the answer is clear. Hikaru doing really well. Sumuk, he was not counting his moves. What he did was the last pawn move which he made, which was, I think, b4. He just kept that in mind. Like he saw that that was on move 34 or something. And when they reached move 83, which was one move before 50, he stopped. Okay, now push the pawn. You have a kingside majority. Queen g5. Take here, knight f5 is over. So knight g8, now take. White has small edge here. Slightly more active rook. Knight f5, knight d6. b5, rook e1. Rook a7, rook e4. And knight h5, and now maybe g4. He goes rook e5. Nihal again putting some pressure here on Hikaru. Theoretically, I think Nihal still has No. I mean, even if he wins all the games, there might not be enough blitz games left. And also, I very much doubt that Hikaru is going to lose 5 bullet games in a row out of the blue. Sumuki does not have to count the moves. He just has to look at his on the right. There is this notations when you're playing online, and you just, oh, by the way, look at this. If he had gone knight d7, it would have almost trapped the rook, because the point was that if you go here, just to show you guys, rook e7 is what, but then there was knight c5 and then check because the king is here and you lose this. So very small tactic there, but it did exist, but he didn't find it. And now after several moves, it seems like Nihal Sarin is in with a real chance to win this. King h7, king h4, king h4, Nihal mate, 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 mate. He finds it. He finds it, and Nihal wins. Nihal wins his first bullet game, moves to 9 points, and maybe now the speed monster, some hope. C3. What? Look at the time. 4 minutes 30 seconds. I think they got the timer wrong. It's a bullet game, yeah, game aboard. They were playing 1 minute game. Suddenly the time is like 5 minutes. Okay, there we have the game. And now Nihal once again putting pressure here. Rook c1, rook c1. I think they will definitely give some time back, right? For the clock timings, but let's see. Queen f2, bishop c4. Black has his pieces on the king side nicely positioned. Rook e1. Queen a5, putting pressure here. Queen c7, a5, b5, ab. And now the knight. Okay, attacking these two pawns. Let's go. Queen e2 maybe. Queen d3, nice move. If you take, I take and defend the pawn. And you can't take here because your queen is hanging. Queen e6 by Nihal. Queen b3. Should we enter here? Knight c5. If you play knight d3, I'll pin you and win. So still some pressure here. 30 seconds each. Ooh, Hikaru plays this beautiful move, knight h1. Idea knight g3. Wow. How did he find it in like what 26? He found it in like 1 second. So amazing. The knight is coming to g3, attacking h5 and f5. What a move. What a move. Just shows his class. Game over, yeah. Queen a7 is just. Oh, what a. Again, a killer move. Killer blow. Some 97 business somewhere takes. Maybe take gives Nihal some chance to hold. d6, knight b6. King e6. f5. Okay, okay. Push. Push. This is hanging. Knight g7, f4. Oh, the h pawn is running down. Yeah. And Hikaru wins. Hikaru wins here. And which means that Nihal Sarin has lost this match. I think so. Very, very likely. I'm very interested to see. Oh, by the way, there was this very nice tactic here, which Nihal. Oh, finds it. Finds it. Nihal finds it. Nihal is spotting these knight f7 tactics. Knight h6 check. क्या ही खेल रहा है भाई. बढ़िया. Could have taken here as well, but he takes this later. No, he can't take. There's a knight. Sorry. Rook f8. b4. Oof. 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 This is hanging b5. No, let's not take. Let's just drop the bishop back. Yeah. Drops the bishop back. Nice. And now take on e6. King is too weak, and you just save your bishop here. Even a check this, check here. Very strong. Knight can't take it because it's a pin. And the point is that you can even check, then take here, and then take here, and then you are just material up. Bishop f5 check. Take, and rook takes c8. Nihal is exchange up. Just careful. The rook is hanging. There's a check here also. You don't want to lose your queen. Rook d2. Queen g6. Nice move. Nice move by Nihal there. Because if you take here, he wants to take here on f6. Okay, this is over. But you can see how Hikaru is not letting Nihal win quickly. And he's not even resigning, so that really takes away quite a bit of time of Nihal. Yeah, rook b4 and take here. Oh, he'll play till mate. It seems. Oh, he'll also bleed this time of 50 seconds. Oh, brutal. You know, on chessboard, you have things like good technique, where when you have a good position, you do it in the right way. I think in online chess, in this format, this is good technique, whereby you just make sure all the time is just I think Hikaru doesn't need to do these things because he's already winning by 5 points. What is the need? But he's just showing that this is what you have to do. I think this is the last bullet game, and Nihal would be happy, I guess, if he can get some kind of a victory here. But I mean, in general, Hikaru has played really well. Well, there was a chance here for Nihal to win material with g5. And the point is that if you go g5 here, the bishop is pinned, and if you try to go queen g3, then I go rook f4, knight f4, and the very important move bishop d6 pinning here. And then when he goes here, you go king h8, and anyway you will take next move. So that was a chance, small chance, but quite a tough one to spot. Nihal managing to win a pawn there. Yeah, the time is up, guys. So this is the last game that we will witness between these two amazing players. So let's have full fun of these last few seconds. Queen e5. I think queen a7 is forced because the knight is pinned. You can't move the knight. Knight f6 check. I have gf6. Queen a7, de, queen d4. Yeah, this should be a draw, but in bullet, I think black would win such a position. Pawn up with an e passer. Let's see if Hikaru holds this one as well. He is known for some unbelievable defenses. Tushar Muralidharan says it's in Hikaru's interest to limit the number of games by stalling the match clock because part of the prize fund is decided by win percentage. Okay, nice. It's a good point there, Tushar. Oh, and Nihal is winning. So that. Oh, but now it's a draw. I think the way in which Nihal would have won this game was instead of going for this pawn here, if he had played rook f5 and rook e5, I think that, or d5, keeping the rook here. So game ends in a draw finally, and that is the end of the match. Hikaru wins with 14 and half, 10 and half. That was a brutal match, I would say. Very nicely played, and I think the key differentiating factor in this entire match was Hikaru's defense in losing positions. He saved so many of them. Nihal did play well, but I think Hikaru was the stronger player. And that ends the Speed Chess Championship first semi-final. Nihal is out, but he played such a great event. He managed to beat Anish. He also managed to beat Ding, which is actually a big thing. Two very strong players, Anish and Ding, and give a good fight to Hikaru, which shows that Nihal is one of the best in the world and he has still time to improve. He's just 18 years old. Maybe in the coming years he will get even stronger. So, great fight. And guys, I will end this stream with a couple of things. Firstly, in the pinned comment, you can see Chess Ranga, which is a free chess learning platform that we have developed for you. It's academy.chessbase.in. Please go and check it out. Please use it. If you have any feedback, give it to us at chessbaseindia@gmail.com. We are working on it to make it better. The next version will be much better with many more features. The second thing which I wanted to talk about is the Chess Spine Chess Adventure Park, which is our book that is there. The link is in the description. And lastly, ChessBase 17 and Mega Database. If you guys are interested in improving your chess, then please do check it out. The link is in the description. This is the one, ChessBase and Mega Database. I have made video on ChessBase India as well, so you can check and how to use it. It has some amazing features. I'm going to leave you all with my favorite video here, which is Chess Spa, and then we'll end the stream. So thank you all for tuning in, and thank you guys for all the support. Bye bye.
And I'll take you on a trip to my chess adventure park. Meet my friends, pawn, tiny yet powerful. Then comes the tricky knight, bishop, the diagonal's ally. Let's meet the elephant in the room, a rock solid rook. Queen, the most powerful piece and the most valued piece on the board. King, the most important piece and the ruler of the ring. Fasten your seatbelt and let's get going to a special place that's mind-blowing. Chess Spine Chess Adventure Park, a brilliantly illustrated storybook to introduce the game of chess to children in a fun way by ChessBase India. Get yours now at ChessBase India shop.